Should be live. We should be.
Yep, we are.
Check one.
Okay, yeah, I'm getting a lot of feedback. Wow.
I'll turn it down.
Yeah.
How about now?
Okay, you're good now.
How
Yeah.
about now? How about
Yep,
now?
you're good.
This is better.
Yeah.
I gotta send out the link. All right, we're live. Welcome. Whoever's joining us, I have to get logged in. So you have to do you have to open up with the play-by-play. I don't know what's going on.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I got you. It hasn't started yet, so.
Is it saying it has or has it?
It has
The
not.
game
No.
hasn't.
The previous show is still. For people who are watching right now, this is on Tubi, which you can get it very quickly download onto your computer. I'm guessing probably phone as well. I'm watching it on my laptop right now. Italy versus Cuba. Was this the fourth game, I believe, of the WBC? We've already seen a fair amount of action. Big upset by Australia. Game that ended, I believe, earlier this morning.
I didn't know it was on TV. I thought Fox.
Man, I'm
I thought
sorry.
Fox was
I'm still getting a ton of feedback on your end. Like it's like I'm just.
How about that?
That's better, yeah. But yeah, I feel like it was moving around on your hoodie there.
I got to do age verification on this goddamn thing. Game. All right,
For
so we got
Tubi?
Italy versus Cuba. This is a very interesting matchup. This is an
Yeah.
extremely interesting matchup for a number of reasons. I could go live, huh? We're live from Taichung. Perfect. I've
Yep.
got Italy versus Cuba. I got the thing pop.
Yeah.
I'm expecting an extremely small crowd this morning to join us, and
I
YouTube
I
is
would guess
seeing
so.
this
It'll
as an
probably get better as we
opportunity
go
to-
along.
Yeah.
But I'll keep retweeting as we go along here. But yeah, it's trial run, but it'll work.
Yeah, literally anybody that shows up into this chat, I don't even know how to mod thing right now. Like anybody at all that shows up in a chat today,
Is the real one.
yeah, you guys, that's like. All right, I don't know anything about the play-by-play crew. Just quick glance at these guys. Holding the mics a little bit tight. The guy on the right's got hands the size of Johnny Bench. Jeez Louise. Ring's got to be sized for a giant. Don't love the suits. Don't love the fits. And right away we get into a Vinny Pasquantino feature.
That's always a good thing.
So what do you know about Vinny being a division guy?
I want to say he gave us problems last year. Then again, who didn't? I know the Royals are big on him. Hopefully he can come alive with their core there because they've been trying to rebuild here for a second. But small sample size. But I want to say he hit his first career home run at Comerica. So there's definitely a Tigers connection.
Yeah, I think he hammers Pineda. They have a good little thing going over there. Like RJ Melendez can be an all right catcher.
Yeah,
Bobby Witt's a superstar.
Bobby Witt's gonna be really good. Yeah,
Matthew looks like he could play 10 years.
mhm. I've always liked Brady Singer too on the pitching end side of things. I don't know. I don't think he's ever an ace, but I liked him a lot at Florida. He had a good year last year. Their issue is the development of pitching. They've done a pretty good job with their position players, but it's been a long time since the Royals have had like a really
They don't pitch with a lot of attitude. Like
no.
the Guardians have like attitude. They got like a philosophy on that. The Royals, they like upside guys. What do you? They have a couple of these young lefties, Easley and Lynch.
Yeah,
Are like really talented guys. Man, Lynch is huge. Lynch is this big, lanky lefty. I think they could be like sneaky, pretty good this year.
I think a lot of people are, per usual, are very down on the AL Central. I think as a whole, that division's going to be better than people think. Like, I don't. I think it was I can't remember what projection it was. Had Cleveland winning it at like with 84 wins. Like, I think there's at least 3 pretty good teams in that division, and obviously you have Detroit and Kansas City are going to kind of fight it out for fourth and fifth place. But I think as a whole, it's not as bad as people think.
You say that because you're biased, though.
Well, I mean, my team stinks though, so I. Also, I do really like
this blog. Something about Italians and Cubans. Oh, better sandwich.
Oh, I mean, as an Italian guy, I feel like I got to go with Italian. So I'm tweeting the link out right here.
Yeah, we're live. You're in the chat. I'm here I'll answer anything. Ask me. Ask the boys. Anything. Blog's going up too with the stream now.
Okay, fantastic.
We got 4 people watching. I want to shout out. One of them's probably Phil.
Appreciate
Shout
it.
out Joe. Joe de Simone. De Simone. That's too French. De Simone. De Simone.
I want to say Italy in this event in 17 was sneaky good. Like, I don't think they didn't get as far as the quarterfinals, but they won a few games. I remember they're showing right now they did upset Mexico. I feel like the big story here is pitching for Italy is Matt Harvey, the Dark Knight back, which...
I mean, it's awesome. It's awesome that Matt Harvey's going right now.
Yeah, it's great. I was thinking about him a few days ago, and that's just that little run that they had in 15 where they made it to the World Series. And it's like, what sucks is that at their peak, all 3 of those guys lived up to the hype. They just never did at the same time. Like, if you could have had 2013 Harvey and 2019 DeGrom together at once, like, it could have been special. The closest they ever were to being healthy at their best at once was 2015, and they all made it to the World Series.
Yeah, they had such shitty position players around him at the time too. I want to say like they probably were hoping
Oh yeah.
David Wright was going to be like healthier, have like another good season. Like
Yeah, well
Mike Davis might have been still getting plate appearances.
they hit lightning in a bottle in 2015 because Daniel Murphy turned into Babe Ruth for 2 weeks, and then
Yeah, I watched it. He fucking shit all over Jake, and
right, and then
that was tough.
the Cespedes trade was huge for them with the Tigers. But those few months that he was there, he was electric. Well, he played the next year too. Piazza's manager, right,
Mike
for Italy?
Piazza's sweet. Yeah, he
Yeah,
is.
he looks like a baseball manager.
I just don't. He just like can't possibly care enough to manage. Like I feel like good managers,
Yeah,
like you have to just care so much. And Piazza. Oh, I gotta do an Instagram live. We're live on Instagram. I'm watching it with Castellani. He's somewhere around here. Uh, we're live. Click this link to watch Italy, Cuba with me and Castellani. Let's go, Sale.
good take.
I wrote a scouting report and sent it to Team Italy. I'll read it to you.
Oh, okay.
It's All right, what do we got? So their catcher, Brett Sullivan, he's kind of a utility guy with the Padres. And he's been annoying Vinny over the last couple days going to the game because he just keeps talking and trying to scout him. And Vinny's very much like play and like what happens, but don't like it. We've never seen these guys. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And so Brad's been like up his butt cheek. So I sent him a long message that said, "Hey, tell Sully I had a dream. I slept on it, and I think the Cubans are going to be pitching him backwards early, challenge you guys second time through the lineup, hard and soft away like a senior in the like a senior Saturday ACC starter. She's out 0-1, 1-1, 1-2, but never behind in the never when you guys are ahead. Fastball's up." As he just throws a fastball up, I go,
There's
I don't
one right
think they
there. Yep.
adjusted. Yeah, I go, not a lot of fastballs up. I'd be prepared to mentally take away the top quarter of the strike zone, be the aggressor, and expect college summer ball umpiring quality along the way. Solely appreciated that. So I had my eye on Solely being aggressive, swinging at the first pitch. I was in his ear. Come on, Solely, did.
He went back down with that one. It looked like a changeup.
Yeah, but you can only throw 65 pitches, right? So there's not really a lot of reason to like wait to second time through a lineup.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Go throw your stuff and get moving.
Ooh.
Sorry, here comes me.
Good action on that changeup there.
He's so big.
Yeah.
For change.
Seems to have a good feel for that so far. Yeah, those are good numbers, man. 72 games, 800. You know, you'll take 800 something OPS out of a catcher any day.
His last 40 games, they said he had like a 1,000 OPS.
Yeah.
If he qualified, he would have ranked 5th in walk to strikeout ratio, 7th in walk rate, like 10th in strikeout rate. He doesn't strike out a ton at all. He said it like still hurts his. He said he gets like angry when he strikes out, like a little kid.
Huh.
He's the stories I've heard about this kid from my buddies around the league and just like the guys I've talked to this offseason is like Vinny and I got to talking like, yo, is this kid is this kid legit? And they're like, you don't even have to watch him. Just go listen to him hit off a tee. And like you will you'll know right away he's just a different guy.
Hmm. Good take.
You know, one of the things I'm really fascinated with about the sport is just the concept of just like natural ability. Like Alex Bregman is not bigger, stronger,
Right.
faster, smarter. Like what makes him so much better than everybody else who looks like Alex Bregman is a profound obsession.
Hmm. That's why I always find it weird when there's a certain like Jeter was like this. Guys who just play to play, where it's like where they'll openly admit like I don't even like baseball that much. I just like playing the sport. That's so bizarre to me. Like you would think to be great at this, you need to be obsessive.
Yeah, then there's some of the best players want like nothing to do with the game.
Yeah, especially after they leave. Yeah.
Nice walk, Vin.
Good AB.
I mean,
Dude went
just a
break.
classic professional AB from our guy Vinny.
He went breaking ball 3-2 there. He's mixed in everything so far.
I told him he's gonna get the whole mix, man. They're gonna pitch your ass back. Like you're gonna pump him a couple fastballs down, bro. I told him they're gonna pitch him backwards, and they start him with a first pitch change. Okay, lost my video on the stream. I'm here. I'm sorry. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm here.
Yeah, I didn't even notice.
I don't even have the stream up.
There we are. Hmm.
Ah,
What's up? Hmm.
it's interesting. They've got David Fletcher playing shortstop and Nicky Lopez playing third base.
Yeah.
I would have had that the other way around. But they say like Nicky's like one of the better guys in baseball where you could like have him sit and not play, and then just plug him in like the seventh inning, and his actions and his like just he'll play the game like he's been playing for the last
Yeah.
week if he's been sitting on the bench. And he's got what I think he's played 4 seasons, and 2 of them he's hit like over 300, and 2 of them he's hit like 230.
Yeah. His batted ball dad has always been weird.
That ball get up overhead. Let the record show that Barstool Baseball's on-base percentage is 1,000 right now in the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Correspondent Vinny's working the count. We like that a lot. He sent a video. We should probably post it later today, I guess, or maybe post it now. His pregame meal, he went to Chili's. And for the first time, I think he sent in like 40 videos. And for the first time, like, I was like, man, he looks a little like he looks a little like the nerves, like it's game day. And then at the end of the video, he's like, "Yeah, I'm a little nervous, to be honest." It's an endearing look. It is. You know, you get to a certain point in the game. I think a lot of guys are just like they'd be like way too big to care. Like Team USA, but I looked at every single one of those guys would be like, they're just very big league.
Yeah.
So I just want to reiterate how grateful we are for Vinny to be at the stage where he wants to like open up and let us into what's going on. Is anybody in this, Phil? We'll now take questions. What do we got? 14 watching? That's not bad for 4.
It's not bad. It's not bad for 6:19 in the morning.
Yeah, I'll take 4. We'll probably we can go to war with these people right here.
Yeah.
Eat up, ass. Yes, I'm in Arizona. Honestly, I don't know if I'm coming. It's so nice. I don't want to come back. I just want to stay in Arizona. It's so fucking nice down here. I can't even like begin to explain how nice it is.
It looks dope. I would say Yohan Moncada is one of the few players in this where how productive or unproductive he is kind of matters in this event. Like, the microscope's being held up pretty tight to him. He had a bad year last year. He's one of those guys who's got to come out of the gate firing. So if he has a big WBC, I feel like it's going to alleviate a lot of stress for White Sox fans. But
I think he's a bum.
I'm kind of leaning that way too. Really.
Yeah, I think he's bad work ethic bum.
Yeah.
I think he's out. I think he's out a lot of nights. I think he's selfish. I don't know. I've heard he's but at the same time he's also the most gifted player on the field most of the time.
Yeah. Yeah, him and Robert were the two guys I was highest on in that rebuild.
It's like, what are you going to do about it? How do you coach a guy like that? Man, Matt Harvey's dip is so big.
I was thinking the same thing, man. He's not even pretending to hide it.
Phil, we get a clip of that. We get a clip of that dip next time they zoom in. That's just a great clip for the boys. Oh, the hog. Matt Harvey hasn't worked out. Like, he just looks great. He just looks 35.
Yeah. Yeah. It was there even when he lost the velo on his fastball. His issue was never really stuff. His stuff was always fine.
He just had to keep changing his shit because like, you know, he had you're right, he had nasty stuff, but it's like, all right, you're used to pitching at 96, 97 up in the zone.
And never adjusted.
He just kept like, it seemed like every year you got to come back, you got to feel it. Like, so it's really badass. He's competing.
I feel like the guy that a prime example of maybe what he was trying to be, and I don't know if he would have been this crafty, but something like what Zach Greinke's been in the latter part of his career. I mean, he was throwing 100 with the Royals, and it took him a few years to figure it out. But once he did with the Dodgers, and he became, I wouldn't call him a pitch for contact guy because he was still getting 8 strikeouts per 9, but like, he adjusted to the velocity dip. I feel like CeCe did a good job of that too in the latter part of his career.
Yeah. Yeah, Greinke has more than anything. Greinke's command, like, that's a great piece of hitting from Moncada right at him.
Yeah. Tough out.
Greinke's just command of like being able to throw 5 to all 9 spots of the zone. I mean, you're not, but he can just. His walk rates had to be some of the lowest of all time. I should say lowest in the modern team. Who are some of the great? Someone puts a good question. So, who are some of the great Cuban players in the league that aren't playing on the team?
Oh, that aren't on the team. Now that's a good question. I feel like there's one big omission that I can't think of right now.
Is Eloy?
Eloy is not.
I think Eloy. All right, so the next three guys that are hitting for Italy have all been heavily featured in Vinny's vlog series.
Okay, sweet.
These are like the three guys.
See, Yuli Gurriel's from Cuba. He's not playing.
Correct. He's too old. He's 30. He's 46.
Jordan.
Jose Abreu.
Yeah. Yeah, this team could be stacked if Jordan and Abreu were hitting back to back.
I think Abreu is one of the most underrated players.
He's gonna have a huge year. That Astros lineup, like opening day, assuming they're all fully healthy, I think is one of the best opening day lineups maybe ever.
And his 280 average and 450 slug or whatever it's gonna end. It's so because then like just the number because he just gets guys to play hard, to show up serious. Like we had a really cool interview with Tim Anderson where he was talking about Jose Abreu's like leadership in the clubhouse and being like, that's the guy that raised us and taught us how to show up to a game and taught us how to get ready for a game and taught us how to win a game and how to act after you win a game. Like he just got in all the stuff about Jose and plug him into a club that isn't going to ask for that. It's only just going to benefit. Yeah. Like the Astros don't need that leadership. It's just only going to help them. Like
hit
sixth.
Well, that's the thing. I'm a big believer in lineup protection. So I think him and Kyle Tucker are going to have massive years this year because people are going to. I don't know how many good pitches Jordan's going to get to hit. Like the word's out on how good he is, and there's just no easy out in that lineup. You have a guy who's won an MVP batting sixth for you. Yeah.
Speaking of MVPs, Cody Bellinger hit a home run yesterday. I'd be remiss not to.
Yes.
I feel like to bring up Cody Bellinger hitting a home run.
I feel like in many ways, your ceiling, the Cubs' ceiling, kind of depends on what he does. Like if he has a revival at all, you're talking about a pretty good team on the north side.
They're so far removed from competing. My focus this year is like, can I get to Wrigley 10 times during the day and keep score alone? Can I, can I get to Pittsburgh for a road series when Pittsburgh does one of the fireworks nights? Or, I'm really interested in Nico Horner playing alongside Dansby.
Yeah.
But the reality is, like, Ian Happ is not going to be there next year, and they're going to keep changing it until Pete Crow Armstrong is developed, which is like 3 more years. I mean, he'll be in the big leagues.
He's still pretty. He's going to be pretty damn good, though.
There's a catch he made yesterday that was impressive.
That was incredible. Yeah.
They had a clip of him in the clubhouse afterwards talking about it, and he talked for like 2 minutes about how, well, the batter was right-handed, and I knew you were throwing a changeup, and usually for changeups to righties, I like to at least lean to that side of the gap and give myself a head start in case it's up over the plate. It was just an incredibly deep answer.
Yeah. I was when I did color commentator for the West Michigan Whitecaps last summer, he was playing in that game. And it's just there's something really interesting about when you can tell which guys are major leaguers and which guys aren't. Like just based on it's cliche, but just the sound of the ball coming off the bat, overall athleticism. I think he homered in that game. You could just tell this guy's going to be a major leaguer pretty soon.
It's not cliche at all. No, that's a fucking.
No, I mean, yeah, it's something that people act like is a cliche, but when you see it out there in action, it really is true.
Okay, I think the only reason we have statistics is like, they didn't keep statistics, right? At some point, they were just playing the game, and they're like, "Well, I'm better than you are. You're better. Who's doing what? Or we got to keep track of this to figure out like advanced statistics." The fact that I'd even sit here and be like, "Well, it was weighted runs created plus."
Yeah,
it's just so we can make these like judgments and assessments,
and
like, well. Ben's like my favorite player as an example is like Ben Zobrist. Ben Zobrist is the perfect example of guys where like that was a guy people looked at and were like, smashed Sully.
Fair, it's gone. Oh,
What the fuck?
I didn't get a good read on it. I couldn't tell if it, let's see.
God, Phil, I was just about to yell, send the fucking clip out. Vinny and Sully in the locker room, and Vinny saying, he goes, Sully's going to hit a bomb to right field, right first at bat. Ball's flying to right. Sully needs all the help he can get. Fuck. Get up. Nope. Now I'm just overreacting.
No, it's good at bat. I mean, he saw him well, but yeah.
All right, Nikki. No, Fletch.
Somebody in the chat, EW77 asked, "Is there really a 6'7" catcher in the league?" There is, and I find this so funny. He was the Tigers' starting catcher for about 3 years, and nobody knew who he was. And that was yesterday. He went viral. It was Grayson Griner is the name of him. He was a stud at South Carolina. When he came up for the Tigers in 18, I believe he was on our roster for 3 or 4 years. That's extra bases.
Oh boy. I like that the Fletcher boys grew out the mustaches, because there was some, it was like, hey, you guys aren't Italian enough to be playing for the team.
So you need to grow it out. Yeah.
You got some good Mario stashes. Well, I mean, Cespedes, all those chains. How are you going to make a play at those?
He was one of those players, man, and he was good. But you always felt like there was Hall of Fame potential in Cespedes, and he just never, well, outside of those few months with the Mets in 15, like he never quite reached it. Yeah, 227 last year.
Lopez.
I felt like he was better than that. 554 OPS is brutal.
Yeah, not good.
Yeah, they just need a single here, though. Slap single the opposite way.
It's a great pitch on 0-1. Damn.
Yeah.
Nicky Blue Eyes, Chicago kid, Naperville product, went to Creighton.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, played at Creighton for a number of years, and then that's actually the same facility that they had the Omaha Storm Chasers, the AAA team.
Oh, okay. That'll advance the runner. You were talking about how Piazza, like, what do you say, just too busy to manage, or like doesn't. He's at a point now where he's such a name where it's like, what's the purpose of even really managing long term? Somebody in the chat just brought up Ian Kinsler. That's a guy to me who strikes me as somebody who would be crazy enough to want to manage. And I know he's managing Team Israel. But I love that. Kinsler's one of my favorite Tigers.
He's better suited to manage now than he would have been 10 years ago as a former player.
For sure.
He's really technical. Here's one thing I don't like about Ian Kinsler. Ian Kinsler was the starting shortstop at Arizona State in like 2002.
Yeah, transfer.
It was like 2000. Yeah, it's like 01 or 02, and then he transferred because of Dustin Pedroia, and that always rubbed me the wrong way. That like you transferred to Missouri because of Dustin Pedroia. Now that story could be blown out of proportion. The other thing, Ian Kinsler is like he'd be a great players manager because he's a very chill, like, he's just a big hippie. He's just super big hippie.
Yeah.
I think he'd be a great manager if he wanted to. Now, you bring this up with Piazza, too. What Hall of Famers would be good managers, or who would do, like, the best manager player? Mattingly? Dusty
Well, I
Baker
mean,
was a good
dude,
player.
I was thinking
Joe
with
Torre
the
won
championship.
MVP.
With the championship now, I feel like you probably have to go Dusty Baker. I mean, Dusty Baker, like, say what you will about him, he's won everywhere he's been. Like, there is something to be said about that.
Yeah, is he the best player? Who is the best player?
Oh, best over. Oh, I thought you meant like tandem, like combo. Best player to.
To man, like is like right now, I guess is like what was Mattingly?
Mattingly, technically. I mean, Frank Robinson comes to mind. He wasn't a very good manager, but I guess current. Let's see. Hinch, no. Kapler, no, wasn't that good of a player. Cora wasn't.
Yeah, Mattingly just got fired or just got done with the Marlins.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would have said last Mattingly would have been the best. No, I'm probably could be missing somebody, but
Yeah, I feel like
there's
I'm.
no like Ted Williams was a dog shit manager, and they said he was like a fucking horrible manager because he'd just be, he's just so fucking ruthless and frustrated with the guys. Like, how can you not hit this pitcher? This pitcher sucks. Where like Earl Weaver's like, well, of course you can't hit that fucking pitcher. That pitcher's awesome.
Who's a current player that you feel like will be a good manager one day?
I mean,
I feel like you have to default to the catcher position because I feel like that's where a heavy majority of managers come from.
yeah, like I don't think Real Muto would manage.
No,
I don't think he's one of those guys.
no. I remember a lot of people when he was playing saying Yachty, and maybe that's possible one day. Um,
Yeah, I can see Yachty doing it.
yeah.
Nobody from the Cubs jumps out. I mean, I like David Ross. He's a player's manager. He's a
Mhm.
sharp guy. He's a baseball guy. He's a rat. Like he's like one of our guys. Um, I don't like I would not want to go outside the organization. I like the idea of staying with a guy that
Mhm.
unless you're going to hire. Joe Madden was a great hire, and I liked his tenure at the Cubs a lot. I don't think Joe Madden can manage for a long time anywhere. But
Yeah, it's kind of the impression.
it has to be who's your manager?
Hinch.
Yeah, so you like him. You have to like him.
Yeah, no, I like AJ quite. I like him more than most. I thought last year everybody took a step back, but you really watching like last year's Tigers, you really do realize, how in so many ways managers are unimportant. Like there's nothing he could have done with that team.
Morning, CB. Matt Harvey out for a second inning, 9 pitches through the first. This opens up. That's 88. I could hit 88 tomorrow. That's not today. Right now, I'll go hit 88.
It was 88 with the heater, and then he goes 83 with the changeup.
This Despadia guy's absolutely gigantic.
Yeah. Another changeup.
That's just a great pitch.
Yeah. Someone, and I'm not saying it's going to be Harvey, someone in this tournament who's a fringe major leaguer, like lifetime quadruple A guy, I don't know what team it's going to be for, is going to have a huge tournament and play their way into the big leagues at some point this year. God, look at that drop off. He went from ace to basically unpitchable like overnight.
Yeah, but that 253, man, we remember that 253. That was a good 253.
Oh, he started the All-Star game, and I remember the last start that he had in 2013 was against the Tigers. And he only gave up 2 hits, but he gave up like 10 or 2 runs, but I think he gave up 10 hits. And Scherzer, who at the time I think was 18-1, outpitched him. He ended up going 21-3 that year. He won his first Cy Young.
Shout out Alan. Alan just sent in a great graphic thumbnail for us to share with this. Appreciate you, Alan, as always. And contribute questions and contribute heavily to Barstool Baseball.
Awesome.
We love you, Alan.
Mixing in a breaking ball there. He looks pretty sharp, man. Hmm.
That sounded hard.
Yeah.
America or whatever the fuck it's
Okay.
called.
This is I move around. I love by the statues where they're at in left field. I love standing by there, making the rounds. Pretty good vantage point. Unless a ball is like crushed to center field, you can basically see everything. And knowing our team, nothing gets crushed to center field. But that's where I was at for Miggy's 3000th. That's where I was at for opening day last year. It's probably where I'll be for opening day this year, which I got to text you about. I think I'm on the verge of getting two pretty fantastic Barstool personalities to be a part of opening day in Detroit this year.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah. And obviously, I mean, anyone from Barstool Baseball is welcome to join. I was trying to get Mintz, and he'll definitely get to a game at some point. But I mean, shit's fucking expensive. So
Yeah. You gotta go and hit you.
oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to get down to LSU for a game in late April, early May. Trying to go to Ole Miss, Mississippi State in mid-April. There's a couple college games I want to go to in April. Because to me, like, all right, I love Major League Baseball.
Mm-hmm.
I always loved Major League Baseball, but I don't. Realistically, I just don't like. After the opening week, you're just kind of like, all right, now we have like 6 or 7 weeks for the guys to play. They just play.
Yeah.
Like it's impossible for me to get mad about a game in May. Like I know a win in April and May is just as much as in September, but it's such a hard fucking game. The top of the league is so good. The color's so. Yeah, like to me, baseball's like. I'm very much looking forward to Omaha. My head's like on college baseball and like, all right, what can we do differently or how can we at least do anything, like literally anything for college baseball, other than just showing up in Omaha, because we're gonna do that. Like we know we're going. Like I know when Omaha comes, I'm gonna be sitting in that fucking sports book, like an LSU prop, but like between now and then, like. What the hell is going on that justifies. So when we get there, like I just feel like, all right, well, there should be some build up when we get. It's like, of course we're going to Omaha.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Well, last year I was originally, it's crazy story. I was originally just supposed to be there for like 3 days, and then. Ole Miss obviously kept winning. I'm going to try to be down there for the whole thing this year. And like last year, what was cool, and it was some of it happened before I got there, is like a lot of people's teams made it. Like Ole Miss was in it, obviously, and ended up winning the whole thing. And like Texas A&M was in it, so like Casey Smith came by. There's a lot of teams that like Barstool fans root for that are like favorites this year, not just Ole Miss either. So yeah, if we could get a squad down there,
we have significantly core audience that are cool people that like college baseball, that are cool people that like Major League Baseball. Like
really,
if I had to throw a party, and I can invite the Major League Baseball fans from Barstool, or the college baseball fans from Barstool.
You're going college?
I'm only inviting the college baseball people.
I get
Major League
that.
Baseball fans are so intense and like sensitive. The college baseball fans are like super fun and love to talk shit and party, and the shit talking, I mean, is obviously the baseball guys, like you get the Mets and the
Yeah,
Phillies
yeah,
guys going and all that stuff. But it's just different. It's more fun. It's more, and I like the fact that the players they're gone. Like that's
yeah,
it. Most of these guys, you get one season. You get one season, either as a senior because you weren't good enough as a junior, and now you get that senior season, and you're not a draft prospect. Or a lot of those guys that are draft prospects are gone after their junior year. Those
yeah,
guys don't play as freshmen. They get in the lineup as sophomores, and then they get on the radar. And then it's just like you're just a stud in college baseball for like, if you're a stud for 2 years, you're a if you're a stud for 3 years, you're like,
yeah. All
fuck yeah.
time.
Like this
Yeah,
Enrique Bradley kid who just stole his 100th base for Vanderbilt or something to start the year.
yeah. That's the one thing I do really like about college. But I mean, it's so much more in line, I think, with where Major League Baseball wants to be in terms of just game action. Like it's a much more as a
Yes.
product, it's much more enticing. Yeah,
Yes. It's a great. Those games are so much fun to go to because
yes,
everybody in the lineup can hit. The
hmm
pitchers are you'll run into pitchers on Friday night that'll strike out 13 or whatever, but for the most part, like the ball's in play and a lot of the games are close. If you watch midweek college baseball, like there's
yeah,
upset like Tennessee just Vanderbilt went 17 innings last night. Evansville watched maybe turn on to the 12th, and I just get sucked in, and you're like, I'm
yeah,
just pulling for this chunky reliever from Evansville, thinking to myself, like, all right, this guy's never going to play in the big leagues. No, I don't know that, but like, this is it. This is this guy's moment. Like,
yeah.
this is the thing he's going to remember. And he was so close to pitching out of runners on second and third and nobody out and saving the day. Is
Well,
that
I mean,
up?
that's over. Yeah. Well, I mean, Ole Miss last year's prime example. They were the last team to make the tournament. Ended up winning the whole thing. So yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah. Oh, it's just such a you more than any other sport you can get that like one of my favorite baseball players of all time is a guy. This is so creepy, but his name's Michael Roth, and he was a fucking relief pitcher at South Carolina. Bad body. I'm sorry if he works for the Cubs now. He's in college players of all time because in 2008 or 2009, I think it was 2009, 2010, South Carolina won back-to-back college
yeah,
championships, and in 2009 they were in the elimination bracket. They lost their first game of the College World Series, so you have to go to the elimination bracket, which means you have to win like 7 fucking games in a row to get
right,
back
yeah,
to the championship. So
yeah,
they ran out of pitching, and this kid, the story goes, their left-handed specialist reliever, their loogie, who is like very good on the year but would only come in for 1 or 2 outs, told the coach, he goes, I'll start. They got a lot of lefties. And he throws a complete game shutout.
wow,
So like 2 days later, he's like, Coach, I can go. And he goes out and he throws like another complete game shutout. They
that's
make it to the
ridiculous.
championship game, and he like pitches game two, and he throws like another. He throws like it's like 3 starts, 26 innings, 1 run, didn't walk anybody. No one knew who this guy was at all. Never started in college. Nothing. Just
Mhm.
went into the College World Series, dragged his balls all over the
Yeah,
place. They win the championship, and then I think it was either 08, 09 or 10 and 11. I think this was 10 and 11. So he did this in 2010. And then 2011 he came back and was like a senior, and they were like, "All right, you're going to start on Friday nights now." And the guy went like 16 and 0 with like a 1 point. Like I mean, he had like been
Jesus,
all the coach was like, I think the coach is now the AD at South Carolina. That's how much he loves
really?
baseball. He won a College World Series. They're like, you're just going to be the AD now. Here's $5 million a year. Just go sit up there and fucking have cocktails. But his name's Michael Roth. He just retired too from pro ball. I want to say he was like a single A guy with the Tigers maybe.
Yeah, I'm
God, if you
looking.
Google Michael Roth, he doesn't even.
He's not even the first guy that comes to mind.
Yeah, he's an author comes up. He was a backup first baseman.
He was drafted by Cleveland in the 31st round. Uh, Retired after 2018.
And he went 14-3 with a 1.06 ERA in
Holy shit.
145 innings. 104, and those are SEC innings. Those are SEC
Right.
Friday night. Like, oh, bad body too. When I say bad body, I mean like bad, like professional bowler, like European minor league golfer that show that you're like, who the fuck is this guy? All right, Vin. Runner in scoring, 2 outs. Told them that they'd pitch him backwards first time, and then they'd challenge him second time. Are we recording?
Yeah, I believe so. Why?
Okay. All right, good.
In the
No,
Riverside.
I just saw a note pop up.
In the Riverside stream, it says we're recording. Yeah.
Come on, Vin. Good take.
Yeah. We saw that well.
I'm gonna say it. He's so big and firm in the box. Like when he gets set, it reminds me of Alvarez.
Yeah, I could see that.
He's fucking locked in. Gets his time. Good for him. Right back in the box, though. He wants to hit. Come on, Vin.
That's the same pitch.
Are you ahead of me?
Oh yeah, I guess here I can even up though. Pause it for a second.
No, I'm fucking scooting. I'm back.
Okay.
Okay. Get overhead.
Contact.
Absolutely shit on 2-2, choked up.
Yeah.
Smoke that. Just line out to the warning track. God damn it. OBP drops to 500.
500, yeah.
These Dark Knight, like, I'm blogging Matt Harvey's dip right now. I have no choice but to do it.
Yeah.
If I get in trouble for using a screenshot of the TV broadcast, I don't fucking care. I'm sorry, guys. I shouldn't say it like that. I shouldn't say it like that. I can do this. Tubi's not gonna.
No, they'll thank us.
Say it like that. Yeah, exactly. It's like I'm watching Tubi right now.
Yeah.
You guys won't believe it. Okay, I'm gonna post this. Why don't you tell a story or get me going here?
Okay. Well, obviously Harvey back on the mound. One of the most hyped up prospects, at least of in the last decade or so. So electric, man, when he got called up, and I remember him starting. It's very bizarre, just the life of pitchers and how lucky/unlucky some can be. Because I remember that 2013 All-Star game. It was in Citi Field. He was starting against Scherzer, and Scherzer had been around for a minute. Like was even at the time kind of second fiddle to Verlander in that rotation, that incredible rotation they had. And all the talk was how good Harvey was, and that this was was going to be his league. He had an ERA right around 2. He was going to be the Mets' future ace, and it's like one of those guys ascended. Scherzer now 3 Cy Youngs in his back pocket, and after 15, obviously Harvey it kind of fell apart. But they had a squad there for a brief second with those young pitchers, and yeah, I mean it's one of those sad stories because it was not, and they're showing. Did not expect this right on cue. They're showing the 2013 All-Star game right now. or highlights from it. I mean, the guy could just sling it. I mean, he could hit 100 with ease. Lots
With
changed,
ease
but
is right.
yeah. There's something
Yo,
so unique about like 100 when your mechanics are so smooth. That's why like DeGrom at his best was just amazing. He's just this lanky guy who just barely seems like he's breaking a sweat, yet he's popping 101, 102 in the first inning.
um, you
Ooh.
think DeGrom still got a couple of years of him?
I don't think he ever has a 30 start season ever again. And I know Mets fans are upset. I think the contract he got from Texas is insane. Like it now, but again, it's one of those like there's a mystery box element to it because Jacob DeGrom at full health is the best pitcher in baseball. He has not been at full health since the beginning of 2021, and even then, he only made like I don't know 15 starts, maybe less. Um, so I know the Rangers spent a lot of money, and I give them credit for it, and their rotation has substantially improved. But I would be stunned if we ever see a DeGrom that's better than we saw 2018 through 2021.
He just seems so bored at times out there.
Yeah, the way he left New York, and I'm not a Mets fan or anything, but like just seemed odd. And he's being all cryptic, saying, "Oh, there's a reason I left, but I'm not going to tell anybody." Like, okay, what are you doing?
Well, I'll say it out loud. I like Mets fans a lot because they're passionate guys,
Me too.
and they're their own guys. Like Mets fans are they're not every sport and every team or whatever. Like Mets fans are their own creatures,
Hmm.
and I like them a lot. If I was a player, I'd fucking hate Mets fans. I think they're
Really,
shitty to their players. Yeah, I think Mets fans are shitty to their players.
worse than the Yankees?
Um, in different ways.
Hmm.
Like Yankees fans are like they can be really bad. Like what happened
Yeah.
to Joey Gallo is trash. It's
Yeah.
trash. What happened to Joey Gallo is absolute trash. Because Joey Gallo, by all measures, good fucking dude who like all those players like him, and he fucking works his ass off.
Yeah.
He just wasn't that good in New York for a little bit. Um,
They're kind of doing. I'm seeing the
yeah.
same. I'm seeing the same thing kind of happen with Donaldson there too. Um,
Oh, they
not
hate him.
not to that extent because Donaldson's is still at least a solid defender and everything. But yeah, I
He'll
mean
get it
that was
this
a guy
year.
I
He'll get
thought
run
would.
out of there this year.
Yeah, that was a guy I thought would play well in New York. Like not amazing, but I always liked Donaldson as a player. I felt like he had an attitude that would translate over to New York, and he just hasn't hit.
Yeah, I think like Rizzo's a good example. Like older guys that have had success elsewhere that don't really give
Yeah,
a fuck. Like you could say like, oh, what's the pressure playing in New York, and like Rizzo would laugh at you. Like, with pressure, what? Like
yeah.
it's
He,
not. It's a game. It's a game.
Rizzo's gonna have a big year, and no shift is gonna be great for him.
Yeah.
That's what's bizarre
At the
about this.
third. Oof,
Ooh,
that was close.
yeah.
Yeah, like Mike Piazza's facial hair just tells me he couldn't manage in the big leagues.
Yeah, oh, totally, dude. He looks
Too
like
well kept.
J.K. Simmons and For the Love of the Game.
Now to his left is a legend. That's Mike Borzello. I got Mike
Then
Borzello stories up the waz. Mike Borzello is probably the coolest guy in baseball. Like
wow.
anybody that's ever played in like a Mike Borzello dugout is like, yo, dude, there's this guy, Borzo or whatever, and his job is literally to just make sure that like you are fucking locked in. He knows everything about every other player, team, pitcher, catcher, straight. He was Joe Madden's right hand guy in Chicago, and I believe he was a guy that Theo had brought in.
Oh, really?
And Theo is like this is like our culture guy. He's fucking in the dugout whether you like it or not. And then he was like the last guy to get let go from the staff, and a lot of players were like a lot of the 2016 players that were around in 2021 when he got let go were just fucking livid.
Where's he at now?
I believe he's out. I think he's off.
Oh,
I think he was with Madden in Los Angeles. Let's see. Yeah, he left with when he left with the Cubs, he was done. Yankees, Dodgers, Cubs. Okay, here's the story. Joe Torre handpicked him to be the bullpen catcher and batting practice pitcher, and then he earned 4 World Series rings with those Yankees teams. So he came
not
up with
bad.
with the like that Yankees core. So like, it's just a funny guy to sit around. I guess would be like, all right, I'll tell you a story about when like Derek Jeter played hungover or something like that's a
Yeah.
cool guy to be hanging out with if you're like a young rookie.
2-2.
Man.
He's mixed in everything. I mean, he's been tried to be crafty as hell. We haven't seen that many fastballs from him. I feel like we've seen a lot of changeups, seen a lot of breaking balls, which I feel like works to his advantage in 3-2. You don't know what you're going to get from him here.
I'm literally writing what you just said.
Oh, thank you.
He's mixed everything, looks crafty as hell. We haven't seen that many fastballs yet. A lot of the rest of the sink. He's got a sneaky advantage behind in the count.
Huge play there. $65 pitch limit, you said?
Yeah.
Does that go for all rounds as well, or is that just the...
I think it goes up the next round.
I think it does too, because I want to say in the finals of 17, I think Stroman got into the 80s.
He's a great pitcher for stuff like for pitch counts.
Yeah.
Because he just throws to the same location and it just breaks one way, another way, change.
That was the best he ever looked to me. Was in
Okay,
in the,
tough play. Tough play. Nice stretch, Vinny. Nice fuck, Vinny just fucking.
nice
Vinny
work. I was checking to see if his foot was still in the bag there. Yep. Wow. Good job by Harvey. Who do you have winning this thing, Carl?
I liked Venezuela as a bet. Nah, Japan is probably the best pick. All things considered, because the games will, because it's just such a small sample size, it's like one and done type stuff once you get to it. I just
Right.
you just know how that Japanese team is just gonna be like, they're not gonna make mistakes, they're not gonna play themselves out of a game. They're gonna be deep pitching, quality at bats. So I just like the edge to a more sound fundamental team when you're talking about a small sample size.
That's fair.
But
Yeah.
I mean, like the Dominican team is on.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's too hard to go against them. Like, I think that's a really solid, like, sound, logical reason, um, for who you just picked. But yeah, I mean, Dominican Republic's basically an all-star team. Now, who was they? Now they were
Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
Hall of Famers.
No, they were
It's-
they were 6 years ago too, and USA got to them in the quarterfinals. But
Yeah, let me see this one real quick. Okay, and I'm being like, we'll just be like, just assume no career injuries here. Okay, Robinson Cano is a Hall of Famer.
is he
Manny
even with
Machado.
the steroids?
Yeah, he's. I mean, like, whether they put him in the Hall of Fame or not,
He's a Hall of Fame talent.
he's a Hall of
Yeah,
Famer.
yeah.
Like, whether those crusty, stupid baseball writers like reward him or not. I mean, 310 homers as second baseman. Let's see, what was his career average?
He was so damn good for a minute there. Yeah, more than a minute. I mean, did it for multiple teams too.
335 homers and a 301 career average.
Jesus.
Okay. Juan Soto, Julio Rodriguez, Manny Machado.
Jesus.
And then it's like Nelson Cruz could get in, he won't.
He won't, but he is
all,
like
but I
the
mean, like,
definition
you know
of
what I
Hall of very good because he's one of the most feared hitters to me, and part of it was he. But is Alcantara pitching for them?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's another guy you could
Now,
one.
pitchers are so much harder to predict for the Hall because I feel like you got to have like 15 years to be like.
For sure. I think, I've said this before, I think Jacob deGrom is going to be an amazing test because when we talk about pitchers being in the Hall of Fame, we base it in large part on like counting numbers, on totals. I think the deeper we go, we're going to be basing it more so on averages. Like Jacob deGrom's prime was incredible, assuming that, he's past it, was incredibly short-lived, but he's the best pitcher in baseball for 4 years by like a substantial margin. I don't think he's even to 100 wins yet. So I feel like that's going to be a really interesting test. I think that's why, like, I would like to see somebody like Johan Santana back on the ballot because I feel like there's a very similar vibe there where maybe he doesn't have the counting numbers, but holy shit, I mean, he should have 3 Cy Youngs.
I think they go to. I think they would go to him, like. Put DeGrom in the Hall of Fame because he's like
I think they will too.
He's like the poster boy, so baseball writers can be like, "See, we told you, wins don't matter."
Yeah, that's fair.
Now we're gonna show you exactly how much they don't matter by electing him.
Yeah. Nice play.
What's your chewing tobacco experiences?
I haven't done it since college. Um, I sold people a lot of them when I was in working at the gas station. I never hated it. It was just never really my thing. I don't know why I started with chewing tobacco and didn't do cigarettes until much later. But yeah, I mean I was fine with it.
Wait, when do you smoke now?
No, I'm just
Like
like I
no.
did that one cigarette video like four or
We've had
5 months
cigarette. I'm
ago.
gonna get up and go have a cigarette in like a second here.
No, you're good, dude. Yeah.
Just even saying it, I might do that.
Yeah, I could. I mean, I've done occasionally, like when I was in Baton Rouge. I remember Rudy and I had a dart, which I don't remember like anything about that weekend really, but I remember that. Um, but yeah, besides that, no, I mean
How many S's are in dessert? Dessert two.
two.
Desert. They,
D-
the fact that they named dessert something so close to desert, those are they're such.
Desert has one S. I know.
Okay.
Was the WBC the first to instill the runner at second rule in extra innings?
I mean, I can't say the first baseball. It's like an old softball rule.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
They
that's
at least
true.
like they'd say like they're like it's come up in softball leagues before that I've played in, and it's colloq- colloquially referred to as the international. So maybe it is a World Baseball Classic thing, but we call it the international tiebreaker. I don't know why,
Hmm.
but like
Well, I just remember. Yeah, I'm sure. I doubt they were the first. I just remember the discourse about that rule potentially being a thing. Obviously, COVID changed everything, but was 20. It was 2017. Um, we saw it obviously be instituted in the tournament, and then I remember a few months later, it was you guys. I think you guys played an 18 inning game against the Yankees, and I remember Matt Vasgersian on TV on MLB Network the next day being like, "We need to do something about this rule, like implement the runner on second." At least I think he said in the 11th inning, starting in the 11th.
oh, I wouldn't mind that. I
I
wouldn't
wouldn't
mind
mind that
that.
either. Yeah, that to me that's a fair. I don't hate that rule. Like I'm glad they don't do it in the postseason. Um, it's one of those things I completely get why people don't like it, but as somebody who watches 162 Tiger games a year, like I'm not lamenting the fact that Game 74 might have ended a few innings early. You know.
Yeah, well,
Oh shit! No, I got the one.
where am I? I am hitting publish. Barstool Baseball YouTube. Brr, 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 brr.
Pretty fast-moving game here. Already into what are we going into? The bottom of the fourth. Not a lot of traffic on the base paths.
Oh man, this is good stuff. This is good stuff. There's how many people? 14 people in the chat. Thank you guys. 13.
Yeah, appreciate
one of
it.
them's me.
Yep.
One of them's Chris. Another one's Phil. So it's basically us and 10 guys. This is about as intimate as it gets on Barstool Sports.
Yeah.
Come and get a taste.
What time does the U.S. play? They play Saturday, right?
Yeah. Play Saturday,
like
Sunday, Monday.
Oh, they go back to back to back. That's cool. Yeah, Saturday at 9 p.m. Sunday at 10 p.m. Monday at 10 p.m.
Poor Phil. Phil's so mad. Phil,
Why?
I love you. Don't be mad. Because it's just like Phil could be in bed right now. Phil could be clipping
That's
stuff.
fair,
and
yeah.
it's gonna get, there's 10 people. This is the grind, and it's like we live in this world where people are like, well, what are you doing? What do you do? How you watch it? How do you? It's like I don't. We just have to do it. Like
Yep.
Whoa. They're broadcasting our vlog right now on the broadcast.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they didn't fucking credit me either. Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh shit! Yeah, you're.
Dude, that's a fucking Dear Carl vlog. Throw me a fucking bone here. How do you not credit Barstool Baseball on that? How do you not credit Barstool Baseball on that?
Tubi is amateur hour. Always have been.
Dude, come on. Now they're talking about it. I'm rattled as fuck right now. I'm rattled. I'm so rattled. I mean, I shouldn't say I'm rattled. Come on, Borzello. Come on, Piazza. Throw me a fucking ball in here. Because, like, we want, like, whatever. What's important is that people see Vinny and they get the emotional connection. It doesn't matter who publishes it or whose idea it was or who's working on it.
And they did have his handle there, so I mean, I makes the process more difficult, but you can technically, you can get to our page through that.
Oh, you can? Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, as long as if you go to his Twitter, like a lot of his most recent videos are linked to, or like he ats you or ats Barstool Baseball, so like it's we got a bump there. It just wasn't what it could have been.
Come on, Fox. Fox has showed Vinny's blog. All right.
Pretty impressive performance here by Elias. This will obviously be his last batter. This is going to be pitch number 65 coming up here.
Here, I'll break some news for you. I got a tip that the Iowa State Legislature on Monday is initiating a formal process to end MLB blackouts in Iowa.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm like not even joking. One of my buddies is like a Iowa House rep.
Huh.
We met at the Field of Dreams 2 years ago when Starting Nine played Redline Radio in a game.
Yeah.
I drafted him onto our team. He played third base for us. This guy's in his 40s.
Wow.
And we're just hanging out for the weekend. He was a super cool guy. I'm like, what do you do for a living? He's like, I'm a politician. Get the fuck out of here. So, like, not like, he's the type of guy I'd send a Christmas card to. I don't send Christmas cards, but I would send one to JD. Anyways, he hit me up. He goes, hey, man, he sent me like the formal press release. It comes out on Monday. They're like initiating the bill because you can't watch MLB games. It's like impossible to get MLB in Iowa except for when the Cubs played on WGN. See, he's like, you could just use Tigers games, right? Like, is there any issue getting Tigers games?
No, not for me because I mean everything I can watch at home, and then if I go out of state for whatever reason, I have the MLB package, so I can just watch online.
Yes, there's some parts, right? So like, they're technically, I can't watch the Cubs on MLB.com.
Really?
There are people that like can't watch the Cubs on MLB.com that also cannot access Marquee Sports.
Yeah, well, that's the worst. I can't watch them on MLB.com except for when I'm out of state. Like if I'm in Chicago, I can watch them on MLB. If not, I do either do it on TV or I mean I don't know if it's still a thing because they went bankrupt. But the Bally Sports app was also where I'd watch if I needed it locally.
Bally Sports is good for them. Just say that. What do we got here? Inning wise, count wise. I think it's time for a rally sig. Are we up? 2 blogs in the hopper today. Always good to get those. Always good to see the blue bars moving for you on the right side of the page. That's right. Blog output today. 2. Only Carl. That's right, boys. It's good. I like the blog. I like being on the blog. I like rounding things up. It's good to have the baseball season run around stuff to talk about on a blog that isn't just like a fucking contract, speculation about somebody signing a contract.
That's why I have a difficult time with the blogs, man. Like the video stuff, like, and that's why I'm really like I'm happy with what's going on with the TikTok stuff. Like that's such an easier outlet for me. But like especially like off season stuff, it's just it's hard for me to get stuff out. Like be passionate about what I'm writing about.
Yeah, I mean it's not that. The blog has to come from it's like a place, like a reason, a purpose, like a, And I said earlier this week, I was like, I think it might just be easier to do a daily recap than it is to do like like the Monday, Friday, like just do it every day, so that it's just like one ongoing conversation.
Yeah,
I think, but in my bones, like I got into the job because I'm a blogger. I was a blogger. I like to write, but then it's just the company gets so big. You look around, it's like, man, you have to do other stuff. You have to do, I guess, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
Cuba bottom 5, 0-0 ball game. Real tight here, guys. Real tight as we were talking.
Well pitched game.
Strategy. Well called game. Called. Well executed across the board. Harvey pitched out of trouble. Was that in the third?
Third or fourth. I know that's the bottom of the fifth, so it was third. Yeah.
Tai Chung. Tai Chung is a Taichung, Taiwan. Taichung is the name of a famous Chinese place on the south side of Chicago that I frequent quite often.
Really?
I had no idea that it was Taiwanese. It's early, Chris.
Yeah, man.
I feel like Italy's gonna steal one. Italy's definitely gonna steal one today.
Yeah.
Is it called stealing one? I don't think it's called stealing one. Piazza pinch hit. He's probably better than that. I mean,
I was thinking,
taking anything away from these players, but like he's literally the best offensive catcher of all time. Like, he's got to have some pop left.
Take the out at 1.
These games are just so stakes too.
Yeah.
Opening round World Baseball Classic.
It gets, but by the time you get to quarterfinals and stuff, though, it gets so electric. Like the quarterfinal game against Dominican Republic in 2017 was looked like one of the most insane atmospheres I'd seen. That was at Petco.
I'm not sure. My buddy pitched and beat Japan in, what was it, 15, 16, 17? When did the U.S. win it last?
17. That was the last time they had this event because COVID pushed it back.
Yeah, my buddy pitched against Japan in the semis. Tanner Rourke.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah.
Old college team. Old friends for like.
Yeah, you had a few good years there with the Nats. Yeah.
He's in AAA with the Nationals. He get drafted in the 20th round. He was our Friday night starter. He should have gone in the first round, but he got kicked out of school for grades. And so he wasn't playing the year he got drafted. He was just playing independent ball. He was a junior. He got kicked out of school after his first semester. So right before the baseball season started, coach calls him in. He's like, "Hey guys, Tanner's not going to be on the team this year.
Wow.
By far the best player on our team, one of the best players in the conference." So he ended up, going back home, having a couple beers. He ends up getting drafted in the 20th round, signs for like $1,000. I think he was with the Rangers. Then he got traded to the Nationals for Christian Guzman and like somebody else. It's like 2012. He gets to the Nats, makes it to AAA, like average, and he makes a couple starts in 13, and they fucking throw his ass in the bullpen, and he's just trash. He's trash. And the manager calls him in. He's like, "Hey, I know we traded for you, new organization situations. You're like, allegedly, he's like, we're gonna put you in the bullpen, and if you shit your pants again, you're done." And I'm telling you, like, I don't have the power to end your career. I'm just telling you, your career will be over if that happens. And he had 20 straight scoreless appearances out of the bullpen.
Wow.
The Nationals played on the team from mid-August through the end of September, and then the next year he finished 10th in Cy Young voting.
Yeah, he was great in 16. Yeah.
Yeah, great 14 and 16. He's had like 2.85 and 14, I believe.
Yeah.
Like 2.6 or something like. He had 2 really, really good years, but that first year, and he's like, "Yeah, dude, I was like one bad day, one bad pitch, one bad moment away from
being done.
Like just not playing." I think there's so many of those guys. I think like maybe half of the big leaguers that are like playing every single day are walking around with like a moment where they're like,
"Oh yeah,
shouldn't be here right now."
Verlander, I remember, told a story that he thought in 2014. I remember there was a game, interleague game we played at PNC against the Pirates, who at the time were quite good. And we were in a divisional race with the Royals. And I think we scored 1 in the top of the first inning. Then JB came out there and gave up like 4 or 4 or 5 in the first, bottom of the first. And then for some reason, Osmus had him bat in the second inning. I don't know why. I think he just laid down a bunt. I remember Verlander said, like, because he was dealing with a core issue at the time, said, like, I walked back to the dugout, I threw my bat, and I went back into the clubhouse, and I thought my career was over. Like, and then, 9 years later, he's got 2 more Cy Youngs. But, yeah, I mean, that was like the first, like, he was not good in 2014, really, and he was injured the entire season. He probably shouldn't have even been pitching. He still won 15 games.
He was toast in 16 when at the trade deadline. He was just or 17.
Yeah, I mean, like, everyone thought he'd be
time.
fine, but nobody expected this. He pitched better in the second half, so I knew he'd pitch well for the Astros. I didn't think he'd become what he became again, but this guy's got a pretty live arm, man. That's 97 right there.
You're ahead of me. Are you? No, what do you got? I got a 3-1 count. What do you got?
I got 3-1.
Are you wearing a fucking Snuggie?
Robe. I got my hoodie on under it, so it probably looks like a Snuggie.
Oh, that's a robe hoodie. It looks like an infomercial.
Yeah, it could be.
This is the only hoodie I wear. That's it. I just wash it. That's it.
Oh, same here. Yeah,
Simple,
the Barstool one's the only one I got.
Simple, man. God damn it, Mike. Mike Piazza's so sweet. All he did was rake. He was such an average to below average catcher, and he was just such a. If you watch Mike Piazza highlights, I encourage the 10 people that are watching this to simultaneously watch Mike Piazza home run highlights alongside, we'll say, Jose Altuve or Dustin Pedroia or Mookie Betts. And you will see guys that use their entire body and lift and drive, and you just see Mike Piazza. Mike Piazza's just stands still and just like his legs don't even. He doesn't even move his feet. He
had easy power.
Right center, right center, bombs. There's a guy on LSU named Tommy White who hit a home run the other night. Like he was at NC State last year. He just transferred to LSU.
Yeah.
And it looked like a pop-up, and it cleared the fence by 30 feet down the right field line. Righty. Anyways.
Cabrera used to do that shit, especially the opposite way when he was in his prime. Like, everyone was terrified of, like, they were trying to pitch him in all the time, and he would just go other way, like just flick his wrist and go 400 to right.
Stay. That bat, I mean, his hands would just like go from here to here, and that thing would. He was so good with the Marlins when he first came up and was like 18 years old playing.
Came up as a shortstop.
Like, hey, doesn't really have a position yet. We just know that he should be on the field at all times. These are the moments. Anybody who doesn't like baseball or says it's a boring game, 1-2 count, 2 outs, runners on first and third, bottom 5 is 0-0 game. Why am I'm jacked up. See, I'm not a big eye black guy. I'm out on eye black as a performance enhancer. I don't think eye black helps anybody. I really don't.
I mean, are there people who say that it actually helps them, or is it a look thing? Like,
I honestly think, guys, a super bright day, I think it helps. A super bright day.
Yeah, that's fair, yeah.
Helps. But, like, just wear, a lot of these guys just.
That's what I was saying. Why not just wear shades?
But I don't think they want to hit with shades. And then I think it's guys that are like, if I'm not fucking wearing shades in the box, I'm not wearing them in the field. Or I don't think there's a bigger bonehead game than when you see guys with. How often? These shades, remember flip-up shades?
Oh
when
yeah,
guys would drop balls because the shades be on their glass.
yeah.
They'd have the flip up shades, but the flip up shades are worse. Bad. If you can pull off flip up shades, that's like one of the coolest things. I cannot think of one big league. Maybe I cannot think of one big leaguer that wore flip ups.
I could be wrong here. I want to say in the early part of his career, Granderson might have done it with the Tigers.
Uh,
Um, because I remember
so
in
sweet.
his rookie season, we were playing a game.
Arenado wears them. Sorry.
Arenado does. Yeah, we were playing a game against the Reds at night, and he lost the ball in the lights. And I think after that, he did flip shades for a while.
Like I would wear flip shades casually, like as a.
Oh yeah, no, I mean they
everyday-
look cool. I just don't know how practical they are for baseball.
What do we got? Let me get the volume going. I'm gonna take a leak
Yep,
and
how about it?
rally. I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can keep everybody busy.
I hope I can. Yeah, we'll see what's up.
Is this Dom Fletcher?
Let's see. It's a pretty brilliant performance by Elias. 5 shutout innings there. Not a whole lot of not on the base paths really in terms of traffic. Now they got Jose Rodriguez in there. Already a runner on first, 3 pitches in. So we're gonna have some traffic this inning. I feel like these games are gonna be easier to talk about the deeper we go, just because we're going to get more major league players. Like I'll be right outside of Harvey, maybe a few, and Vinny. Like there's not a whole lot of guys I know on Italy's roster. Some good defensive plays in this game, especially by Italy. Saved a run on what was a ground ball to short, I believe. Now we got a mound visit here. Anytime. Damn, can't believe Carl's missing this one. .832 OPS, and how many games did he play? That's substantially higher than anyone on the Tigers. Not to take a shot, but I'm going to take a shot. Good pitch. Breaking ball to start him off. In the chat. Thank you, Zirkman. That's roped into left. Attaboy, Vinny. Runner will go to second. He's not going to try to go to third on that. No. He's looked the most confident at the plate of anybody that we've seen so far in this game. I mean, he's had 3 good at bats. His only the out he recorded, he had a really good at bat as well. So he's kind of rolling here. Oh, excite Carl when he gets back here. So what is it? It's, first and second now, 1 out. Cespedes looks like he could still play. He's put on a little bit of weight, but man, he's still not that. I mean, he's 36. When did he last play? Because he was played in the COVID year, which I think was 20. I think it was 2020. So I don't know. Maybe I don't know if he officially retired. If he signed with a team overseas, maybe. Somebody in the chat said Ricky Gutierrez was a big flip shades guy. Yeah, that would be a good idea for content. Find how many flip shades guys there were in Major League Baseball. Are they still a thing? Like, are there still players that do that? I mean, I know that Arenado does, but like, is it a consistent thing or was it a fad? First pitch breaking ball low. He's kind of floating that curveball in there. It looks like they said in the scouting report this guy relies a lot on his secondary pitches. Meaning we're going to see a heavy dose of changeups, heavy dose of curveballs. Dom Fletcher up now. Wow, really good year last year in the minors. The D-backs have a good system, man. I mean, we talk about Corbin Carroll, obviously, who came up and played well last year for them. If they didn't play in such a tough division, I feel like that could be a team that could be sneaky, like postseason contenders. That's ripped down the right field line, but it's going to be caught. Or wait, did that drop?
That's down, baby.
Oh, that was down. I thought he caught that. Holy shit. I fucked that up. I thought he caught that.
Let's go. We're back, boys.
Yeah. See, then he got a
Get
hit.
the headphones on. Good time to be tuning into Tubi, fellas.
Yeah. Vinny hit a rope. Second hit, but now uh-oh. He's good. Phillies Ted asks, why is the game not on a real channel? That's a hell of a question. Going forward, many of them will be on Fox and MLB Network, I believe. Vinny's staying in the game here. What a warrior. Are they making a pitching change? Looks like they are. Carl, are any, outside of the runner on second rule, are there any rule changes in Major League Baseball that apply to the WBC?
No, they're under 2022 rules. So when they put the Classic together, they knew rule changes were coming or anticipated rule changes were coming, and to like consistency with the gameplay or just to uniform, not to have an issue.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like we're not, we don't want to make this like a big deal. I like the rule changes. I like the pitch clock. They have to move the game along, and I'm disappointed, and I do have an issue with baseball writers generally and the way they cover this stuff, and I feel like there's just such a lack of coverage about the rule changes from the perspective that it is 100% going to improve.
Yes.
Watching a game on TV. That's all it's about. Can they make it a better game to sell to advertisers? Advertisers are so sick and tired of not knowing what they're getting.
Yep.
And as Major League Baseball is repackaging itself, they have to commoditize it. The way the NFL works with their advertising and how tight they are on commercial breaks, and you get a third quarter, and it like there's just so much programming into an NFL game that they make money off of. Where Major League Baseball just doesn't do that. Like they're so weak because some advertisers will say, well, the 7th inning's more valuable. The 8th inning's, the 8th inning goes on forever. So how do you sell 8th inning advertisements versus a 3rd inning advertisement versus, and it's a problem for the league when they big national spots. Like you get the playoffs going, and just the value Major League Baseball has is they're selling broadcasting rights, and broadcasting partners are saying like, dude, it's a hard fucking thing for us to broadcast. 6 cameras. It's not an NBA game with 3 cameras. It's a whole bigger production, and there's so many of these games. I do think it's going to make a better experience. I'm sick and tired of watching 3.5-hour baseball games.
No, dude, I'm completely with you. I'm totally with you. I mean, it's weird because I've actually heard some people who've said that the casual fan, the fringe fan, like their opinion isn't going to change regarding whether or not they're watching baseball. And I'm telling you, I just don't agree with that. Like I know it's spring and it's a small sample size. The Tigers 2 weeks ago played an 8-5 game in 2 hours and 25 minutes. Like I'm sorry, but that's just a more appealing thing for the average fan than going to a 3.5-hour game. And especially, I think it's going to do wonderful things in the postseason too. Like, look, we love baseball more than anybody. The games got to a point where they were too fucking long. They just were. And I think the pitch clock works. Yeah.
Oh, the pitch clock I love.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Eric Hosmer the other day was in the box for 8 seconds and did not make eye contact with the pitcher, 10 seconds. And like, it's like, all right, well, say there's 3 guys like that on every team, and say those guys are adding each pitch is another 10, say each pitch is another 8 seconds. And there's 3 of those guys on a team.
Yeah.
And each guy sees 15 pitches a fucking game. It's like, all right, well, you literally just added, if that's on both teams, you just added 15 minutes to the game. And literally all that happened are guys already in the batter's box. We're talking about guys, you're at the plate, just fucking hit.
Yeah. I'm curious though, because like, and I know it was forever ago, but like if you go back and watch like old World Series games, like in in the '68 when the Tigers won it, the games moved at a very similar pace to like now with the pitch clock. Like what era was it when it became acceptable that like, guy, if it's your at bat, you basically control the pace of play?
It's a great question.
Yeah, I mean, like I think a player that stands out, and I'm not saying he had this much power, but like a guy like Nomar, with how that became like a thing with him adjusting his gloves after every pitch.
Yeah, I was gonna say like it probably started happening. It probably became a regular thing in the early 2000s and started becoming more of a thing where it was like, oh, he's really good, like that's big league, like he steps out after each pitch, he fucking gathers himself, like he doesn't rush himself, like I'm thinking of A-Rod in the box. I'm thinking of like the really big, like I like the Nomar comparison. The guys that are like, hey, if I put my hand up, that fucking game's like that game stops. Like you beat on me. I think it's like right around the time when like that Showtime mentality, like I'm trying to think like Chipper Jones, Larry, like if Larry wanted to call time, if Larry wanted to step out of the box for a minute and have a cigarette, that umpire's just gonna be like, you got it, Larry.
I feel like a lot of members of those Yankees teams in the 90s and 2000s too. Not so much Jeter, but like Bernie, Paul O'Neill, Tino.
I watched the 95 ALDS Game 5 the other day, Yankees versus Mariners.
Mariners, yeah.
Andy Bennis versus David Cone. And, dude, that Yankees lineup, first off, David Cone, in this 95 ALDS game, the stat pops up in the 6th inning. He had pitched at least 6 innings going in the start in 50 of his last 51 starts.
Yeah.
At least 6 innings. I think I tweeted that. I think I texted that to the group.
I think we were talking about it, yeah.
And then they had Tony Fernandez playing short, and as soon as the game was over, like Griffey scores the game-winning run, they cut to the Yankees dugout, and you can see Derek Jeter shaking his head slowly, sitting on the end of the bench.
Yeah.
And I think that was like the last playoff series he lost for?
Let's see. Well, 97 they didn't win at all, but
Yeah, they lost to was it the Indians or?
yeah, I think it was Cleveland.
It was a
But
cool shot, is what I'm saying. Like they
oh,
lost
for sure, yeah.
towards the run, and like you could just see like they cut to Jeter, and it's like, man, I wonder what's going through Derek Jeter's head when he sees Ken Griffey Jr. slide, because they're the jumping.
Yeah.
Like those were the two Jordan ambassadors.
Yeah. I remember I was texting you about this. The year, and it's 2011. It's not that long ago, but the year Verlander won MVP, made 34 starts and went 6 or more in every one.
Ugh. That was ferocious.
Pitched 251 innings that year.
He went to the same college as Vinny. They're both Old Dominion guys.
Old Dominion guys?
Yeah. He said there was Old Dominion had unceremoniously dismissed Verlander's coach, and that
Really?
Verlander took it pretty hard, and I think he's closer with the program now, but that's kind of a tough situation when you have literally one of the best players of all time, one of the best pitchers of all time, and you're a mid-major program, and like that's the type of thing you need to like grow the recruiting. And I guess they like kind of botched the relationship when he was awesome. When he was awesome.
There was always a rumor that happened with Tom Brady in Michigan for the longest time.
Because they made him split time.
Partially, and the fan base, we're talking in 99, was not super, like they were big Henson guys. Who ironically ended up, playing baseball for a while. But there was now he seems to be in good standing too. I don't know what changed or if that was ever even true, but there was always a rumor that there was kind of a fractured relationship there.
I was telling you about my buddy Tanner got kicked off the team. They put when he got called up to the big leagues, the Illinois Athletic Department made a post about it. It was like, congratulations. And the story is that his agent reached out to the university and was like, hey, thanks for the coverage, take the story down.
Really?
Yeah, he's not, like, we're not doing this. He's part of the program thing. Like, get that out of here. I can understand. Who was I talking? Graham Ashcraft? For the Reds, he's fucking awesome. He throws like 100.
Mm-hmm.
He came up with Mississippi State, and then he transferred to UAB. And I was like, oh, didn't you go to Mississippi State for a little bit? And he was like, fuck Mississippi State. Then he like took out he was showing me highlights of him pitching against Mississippi State when he went to UAB. Now this is a guy in the big leagues who's going to start the year as like the Reds, number 2, number 3 pitcher, and he's like
this year
talking about yeah. Craft, look at this StatCast data. They say he's like one of the hardest guys to hit. He's a starter. His ERA was, I think, like 4.5, maybe a little higher last year, but it was his first year as like an everyday regular. They're high on Tyler Stevenson. No one talks about that dude. He's always hurt.
Yeah, they have been for a while. They got Hunter Green there too.
Nasty. Lindolo's huge. They could be it's just hard when your ownership's is bad.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be as bad. Like, I think last year was worst case scenario, especially the first few months of the season. That division is so weak that I feel like they won't be competitive, but they won't be disastrous either.
Yeah, I thought they were like 500 on the second half.
They were close to. What were they, 3-25 like to start the season?
Yeah, they had a stretch where they lost. I think they lost like 24-25 or 22-23 or something. Just like,
as someone who has a lot of experience with this, there's just nothing. You can't sell anything to the fan base when you get off to a shitty start. Like last year, I think it was game 13. I want to say where Miggy got 3,000, and we won that game 13-0, and we were 6-7 on the season. And then after that, the season basically ended. Like, it was the second year in a row. I think we were 8-22 or 8-23. There's just nothing to sell. Like, I'm gonna watch, obviously, but
yeah. You are gonna watch, but
Yeah.
you can't help yourself. 36 responses. Can you name a player that wore these in MLB? Wow, people love the flip. Stay in. Man, dramatic
Just
foul ball here.
Yeah.
So 1-0 game. Thanks everybody who's just joining the stream. Carl here, Arizona. Obviously, Castellani in the dungeon in Michigan, getting ready for the big Chicago move. Taking in some World Baseball Classic early here, guys. Dude, this Despaigne guy, I've never even heard. Who is Despaigne? I gotta know.
The name sounds familiar. Oof. Pretty good staff Italy's tossed out there. That had some two-seam action on it. Yeah, great pitch.
Oh my God. All right, this Despaigne guy has played for 19 seasons professionally.
Oh my God.
Most recently in the Japanese league. Holy fuck. He's a prolific home run hitter. I should give this guy more credit. His Cuban numbers are just unbelievable. Career .655 slugging in the Cuban league.
Jesus, really?
Yes. 1 year
Damn.
slug hit like Babe Ruth, 31 homers in 87 games. Nice pitch.
No, dude, they've thrown out some pretty good pitchers here, man. I mean, the last guy that came out of the pen for them was mashing. Or was, slinging it.
Yeah, we're in a good spot here. Matt Festa's in the bullpen. He's got nasty stuff. His K rate's like 13/9. He's a reliever with the Mariners. Probably see him in the, I would guess, 7th or 8th.
I don't know. I'll be right back. I'm going to use the restroom.
Attaboy. My camera's down. I apologize, guys. If you're still with us, this is a gritty stream. This is a very gritty stream. I'll now take some questions. How big league is that? You guys cannot ask me questions. Okay, vlog series is up. If you're watching this, you obviously know the vlog series is up. I would guess. I would hope. We're live. We feel good. We feel great. It's 1-0. It's 1-0 Italy. They have sound infield play with Nicky Lopez and David Fletcher on the left side. Don Fletcher at second base. Vinny at first. Little scare there, coming hard around second with the knee. Big guy, lower body, cannot have lower body stuff. Little swallow there, little gulp. I'm really impressed with Matt Harvey tonight. Really impressed. Pop this fucking chat out. What do we got, boys? I'm here. I'm in the chat. Why are the games not on a real channel? It's a good question. It's a good question. It's a good question. Big day today. What do we got? 5:58 a.m. Mountain Time. Absolutely gassed. Should have went to bed, got up early. Should have done the all-nighter. Did the all-nighter. Wanted to be here.
Yeah, I'm East Coast. I think I'm gonna time it right because Michigan plays at noon. They're the first game today for the Big Ten tournament, so I can get a little bit more sleep in after this, and then go watch Michigan do a video and go to the gym.
Someone says, Carl, what's the story behind you having a Deathly Hollow sticker on your laptop? I'm a big Harry Potter guy. It's a great story. That's our story. That's my generation's story. Now you say not my generation, but yeah. Book came out when I was in 5th grade. Fell in love with it. Loved Harry Potter. Still do. It's a phenomenal story in a series. And there's a childish version of me that loves it, and I like in that sticker fucking. It's just like I don't know, just a good reminder. Make me get sentimental. We're watching baseball here. Nicky Lopez down on the count 0-1.
Mm-hmm.
Good take. I just like Harry Potter. It's good. It's a good minimalist logo.
Yeah.
Probably didn't read the books, but have harsh takes on the movies.
I remember now. I really like the movies. I haven't seen them. They were huge. I mean, they were big parts of my life, growing up. I haven't rewatched them in a while. But no, I love the Harry Potter movies. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good for a rewatch once a year, usually or sometime in between Halloween and Christmas.
Yeah, I should do that. That'd be a good idea for content, actually, if I did that.
It's a good. Yeah, people react to Harry Potter content for sure.
Oh, yeah.
The Harry Potter store in New York and got like a butterbeer and took a picture of it, and then I got like 1,000 DMs about like,
Yeah.
where'd you get that? When is it? It's like, whoa, come on out, boys. Nicky Lopez, solid base hit through the right side.
Good piece of hitting there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Venezuela could be sneaky.
Yeah, they should be quite good. Fucking K-Rod.
Cubs win total this year, I'm going to say 80. And they'll have like a hot stretch in August that they'll overmarket to fans. Is like, we told you the next wave is here. It'll be bad. It will not be good. And I would say the Tigers win total is probably going to be somewhere around 68.
I mean, part of it is I got, I'm just trying to maintain that fanboy optimism. I have them a little bit better. I have them like 70, 72 wins.
Okay. So we're in the same. I'm not.
It's same range. Yeah. I mean, they're not going to be good.
Like they're not good.
Yeah. I guess just last year, I legitimately think was, if you play that season out 100 times, I don't think it could have gone any worse. Every hitter had a bad year, and every pitcher got injured. I don't see that happening again. I actually like the two guys they got in the Gregory Soto trade. I like Maton and Vierling quite a bit. I think, and, new hitting coach, new analytics department, new GM. I like it's a fresh coat of paint. Now it won't make the players more talented, but I think it'll make things a little bit less insufferable, at least for this year.
I like Scott Harris a lot.
I love Scott Harris. Yeah, I mean it's part. I mean, in a weird way, he was set up to succeed because of. I mean, this will be content at some point in the future. It can't be overstated. If you're doing a list of the worst GMs in the history of sports, Avila is in that discussion. So just like Harris coming in there and just doing basic shit like, we're going to improve analytics department. We want to get players who dominate the strike zone. He did exactly what I wanted him to do, which is he cleaned house. Everything has been flipped. The only people that stayed were the pitching coach, Fetter, the manager, AJ, and like some of his staff. But in terms of everyone in the front office, revamped. Needed to happen.
How's Casey Mize?
Tommy John gonna miss all year. We got Turnbull coming back from Tommy John. We got Skubal, who won't be available till the summer because he's injured. Matt Manning, who is healthy, but I just don't think is that good. And we'll see. But he was throwing 98 in his first spring, or 89 in his first spring training start.
Big difference there. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, 99 would be great. That's what's so bizarre. Like, I know a lot of them got injured, but bringing it back around to Harvey, like when those guys were coming up through the Mets system, like him, Syndergaard, DeGrom, they had explosive stuff. Like their biggest issue was they couldn't stay healthy. None of these guys that the Tigers have had, sans maybe Skubal, has like blown me away with their stuff. Like they all have number 3 in a good rotation stuff. Skubal maybe not as much. Skubal can legitimately sling it. He's got a difficult arm slot to pick up. And he's reached triple digits before, but
didn't Boyd just get $10 million?
Yeah, we gave him. Yeah, he's looked great in spring. I don't mind our pitching really. Like I think our rotation, while nothing incredible, like Turnbull's back. Last year was a disaster, but I still like Eduardo Rodriguez. I think he's a good pitcher. Boyd, Lorenzen, and Manning. Like that's and we have some depth in the
Michael
organization.
Lorenzen?
Yeah,
Michael Lorenzen was so good in college. He's a two-way player at Cal State Fullerton. And Cal State Fullerton has a...
that's a
No, we're out. Okay. TV broadcast just went out. He wore 55 for Cal State Fullerton, which is like a really big deal. I don't know if they still do that, but there's something about that number where like they just give it to their guy. I remember going out and seeing him play in the NCAA tournament. He was their center fielder and their Friday night pitcher. It was like the cool, and he hit lead off. He was, I mean, he wasn't as big as he is now. Obviously, he's fucking jacked out of his mind. But he was
he
still
went.
like,
Yeah.
he was like that really big muscular build. Like,
Do you think with Ohtani doing what he's done, we're going to get more teams trying to develop two-way players?
I think you're gonna get more two-way guys, period, whether teams like it or not.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Well, I was just right, like most good high schools, like most good high school programs where guys will get drafted or go to SEC, ACC schools to then get drafted later. Most good high school programs are just they're not gonna, for a long time they got to the trend of like, all right, you're just one way, one position, hyper focus. And like if you can get it in a kid's mind when he's 10 years old, that like, yeah, you're fine, you do both, that's normal, then across the entire population of baseball players, you're just going to see more guys pop up. There's more coaches and programs, more college recruiting will be like, yeah, you can play both spots here. Players will make it clear to teams that draft them, like, hey, I want to play both spots. And there is a shift of power moving towards the player in baseball.
I would agree with that.
Gradually
Yeah.
and slowly, but yeah.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Basketball runs it. Basketball players run the NBA.
The GMs of their teams. Yeah, I'm with you for the most part. I think we're going to get more of an attempt to see two-way guys. I really do believe Ohtani is just a unicorn, though. Like, I think that we're going to get a whole generation of teams trying to find their Ohtani, and I just don't think that that's really feasible. That's probably the worst sports take I ever had. I didn't think Ohtani would be a bust, but I thought the idea of having a modern-day two-way player who's elite at both was insane. Like, I just didn't think it would work.
I don't think that's. I mean, I'm with you where it's like, all right, we'll see what this guy can actually do. Like, something's got to give at some point. That's like, nah, he's an MVP hitter and he's a Cy Young pitcher.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
And,
Now, what'll be interesting with him is like, what if this year, and I love Ohtani and I hope he stays healthy, but like, what if this year he doesn't repeat that success? Like, what if he stays healthy and his pitching numbers are just subpar? Like, how much does that impact the contract he's going to get?
Do you think that's possible?
It's possible.
The situation you just described where he's average?
I wouldn't rule anything out. I don't think it'll happen, but I mean,
every time he takes them out, he has like the best splitter.
That's true.
One of the best four-seam He's got like Justin Verlander's four-seam fastball with like a plus splitter. He's so hard to hit. Like,
yeah.
And he won't. Mechanically, he's so sound.
Yeah.
And his attitude is so positive that like you're not gonna run into a situation where like he fucking walked 6 again.
That's true.
He's up in the zone today, so advantage of him. Like, his floor is very, very high.
That's fair.
If he's healthy, that Joe Madden told me that, and I hate to be like that guy, like, well, name dropping shit, but like I got to hang out with Joe Madden for a day. I asked him probably 1,000 questions so that I could reference them in exact moments like this. It was like, dude, so like, would Mike Trout, Pujols, Ohtani on the same roster? How is that even possible? How do you manage three of the biggest names? Like, when it's all said and done, those will be three of the biggest names in sports history. And he was like, it's funny because they're all similar and they're all very different. They're all similar in the fact that the three of them demand the most coaching and resources. We probably have to coach those three more than we have to coach the other 22 guys combined. Because they just want it. They want to watch video. They want to fucking hit off a tee. They want to hit soft toss. They want to talk about it. All those guys care about is the game. And he was like, it's without a doubt, the best players are the most into it. And he said, if I asked him to, he would play shortstop 162 games a year. All he wants to do is field ground balls and fuck around during BP. Like, he's out there playing it like it's Little League.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Yoenis Cespedes having a rough time out in left field.
That's a tough play to make, lefty to left.
For sure, for sure.
He looks fat. The buttons are bulging on his uniform.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
Get through? It will not. All right, 2-0, top 7, 2 outs. Runner in scoring position. So Vinny's 1 for 2 with a walk and a line out deep right field.
Yeah. The most consistent at-bats of anyone on the team so far.
All right, John Valente's had a long night. I don't know what position this guy's playing.
He's DH.
Now you can hit 10 in the World Baseball Classic. I thought I saw that. Did I see that?
Wait, are you serious? Really?
No. That's not true. That's not true. I thought you could hit 10, and then I looked into it, and it was my brain was malfunctioning.
Okay.
And now I'm repeating this as a mistake I made yesterday, as if it's a fact. I mistakenly thought that you could hit 10 because the lineups posted yesterday, the first game, Cuba versus Netherlands, this is their lineup card, and the guys in the lineup in the batting order, their numbers they were wearing, and it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, and I was like, and Cuba was playing, I think it was 1 through 9. So I thought their numbers were their spot in the batting order. So I just looked at the lineup. I'm like, they're hitting 10? What do we got, boys?
Already behind in the count. This guy's having a rough night, man.
We got a couple questions here. What just happened? Carl, were you at U of I at the same time as Brandon Wyckoff? Yes, he's a very good friend of mine and was our shortstop. Carl, I need to know where you got the hat. The Cactus League hat. This is a big hat, guys. I got this at Scottsdale Stadium. Giants sold it to me. Giants, great facility.
Vinny leading off next inning. A really efficient game by the Italy pitching staff here. Only 3 strikeouts, though. Harvey had 0, which I think was probably one of the many reasons why he struggled as much as he did in the latter part of his career. He wasn't missing as many bats, but I feel like he's a pitcher who works well under the confines of these rules where he can't go super deep into games. So 2-0 Italy here. I believe this would technically be an upset. I want to say that Cuba's more favored. Yeah, for people in the chat asking, Tubi is free. It's pretty painless if you want to download it. It took me like 2 seconds last night, and then I just hopped on. And you go to the live TV section, and it'll be playing. I feel like we've seen Cuba chase a lot of pitches. Now Italy, for the most part, has done a good job of staying in the zone, but good pitch. 91 was sank right at the knees. Look forward to a team or player to watch this year. Good question. Thank you. I guess one player that I think is in need of kind of a make or break year here is Ronald Acuna Jr. Because, obviously phenomenal talents, had the knee injury in 21, was not up to par with what he's capable of last year. I'm very interested to see now that he's almost 2 years removed from that knee injury. Can he return to what looked like a future Hall of Fame talent in the first 2 seasons of his career? After that, as a team, I want to see what the Mets do. It's hard not to be intrigued by them. They've spent a ton of money, but I think that division as a whole is going to be easily the most interesting in the sport. I think there's 3 teams that could potentially come out of that.
We're live.
We are.
All right. What else we got? What's on the docket?
Let's see. Let me check the chat here.
Acuna and Soto are going to have huge bounce back years. Fucking Juan Soto walked at 21% rate, guys.
It was
600 plate appearances.
It's so weird that he did technically
13%.
Yeah, he did by his standards have, and I use heavy air quotes here, a down year. Like his OPS was only 850 something. But he's the best pure hitter in baseball, Juan Soto.
Not good. So like in Soto standards, it's a down year. Okay.
Yeah.
Did he just call him out? Did he have time? This could be a huge controversy here. Cuba's about to freak out. Phil, I need to know your
didn't take time. Did not call time.
Nicky just got his ass out.
He never called time.
Vinny, get thrown out. Do not get thrown out, Vinny.
Let's see. Did that leg lift up there? I don't think the foot ever.
He pointed at the umpire. He pointed at the umpire.
Oh, then they did call. Wow.
So he points at the umpire and he thinks he has time.
Right, but he never called it, so she should be out then, right?
He just points quick.
Wow, this is huge.
Wow, what a great call. And notice how Vinny's just right there, just fucking calling the play. Like,
Yeah.
Vinny. Oh, thank you, Connor G. I will continue. College recaps or include college content in the daily baseball blog, but it's selfishly it's more because it's easier for me to do it, and we'll talk about that later. This play is fascinating to me.
I've
This
never
is such
seen
a
this.
fascinating play. Nicky Lopez.
Yeah, because he made that point, but that should not count as an official
No, it doesn't.
timeout. So, they called him
No,
safe.
I'll tell you this. They did.
Yeah.
I'm behind. Fuck. Now, in the Cuban League, now you get time granted for that. In the Cuban League, you could just point at the umpire.
For pointing.
Like, whatever. Yeah, just that's that. And I had talked a video about this before, like loosely, like, hey, a lot of the players on Cuba are from the Cuban League. That is a completely different style of league.
Yeah.
And that's going to show up in some way, shape, or form in the game. And I did not think it would be from the standpoint of a guy pointing at the umpire
Right.
time. But I'm convinced that in the Cuban League, there's no, like, if the guy's like, I had time, they're like, yeah, you had time. Like, that's, from the standpoint of, like, fluidity and, like, umpire authority in Major League Baseball is like a there's like a historical reason why umpires are such dicks. And it's because at the time, the American League, which was like the first league, or was it the National? Whichever league came second, marketed itself as the league where, like, we have control of our games. Fights won't break out. The players will be sober. The games will start on time. And that's because the original league didn't have any control. The players ran the games. And so when they started the second league, they were like, hey. So when they merged, they really liked the umpiring and, like, the vibe and the tone. And so that had carried over. And that's why the umpiring union and, like, it's more than just like a basketball. Baseball umpires have, like, significantly more historical, like, or capital, I should say, as like a organization than basketball referees, football hockey, whatever. It's like they're huge in the way the sport has been administered historically. I don't even know how I got on that.
Interesting.
But,
yeah. Well, no, because granting time there.
Oh yeah, and you know what? That clip with Terry Collins freaking out because Noah Syndergaard threw behind Chase Utley is one of. I think the umpire is Tom Allen or Jim Allen.
Tom Allen. Yeah.
Yes. Of how much control, how intense, umpires can be, and they're like, hey, it's my fucking game, pal. I'm fucking running this game. I'm telling you, this is how we're doing it because this is how the league wants it. And, like, they're so serious.
One of the great clips of all time. Terry, you know the situation, Terry.
You know the situation. But why can't we? Why can't
MLB did nothing to that guy. Well, Terry, you know where I stand on the whole situation. I think it was.
You got your shot. That was
Yeah.
it.
But Terry, that makes it worse. Terry, that makes it fucking worse. I think it was a Barstool. I think it was Big Cat who said this, like, after that clip. Because what was bizarre is, okay, that game was 2016, but that audio didn't come out until like 2018, I think. Maybe even 19. And I remember they were talking about it on the rundown, and Big Cat was always like that like back and forth was so genuine. Like, you got the impression they probably went out for beers like later that night. Like that it was like they just wiped their hands clean. Like, all right, we're good.
Yeah, dude. Like, they're
That is one thing, like with this new, and I'm not saying it won't shift back in the other direction, but like the age of like individuality when it comes to managers, I really do miss. Like, he kind of lost his mind at the end, but like Jim Leland was a funny baseball manager. What's that?
Yeah, Jim Leland. I was just gonna when you said individuality, the first person that came to my mind was Jim Leland. Jim Leland
Right.
going to Barry Bonds in the spring training in '92. That clip of him
A
kicking
manager would
Barry
get
Bonds
fired
out
nowadays
after he
if
just
that
won
happened.
MVP.
Yeah.
And just get your shit, get the fuck on out of here. I ain't putting up with your fucking bullshit. You think we need to deal with your shit? I mean, funny thing is, Jim Leland looked as old in that clip as he did managing the Tigers.
He never looked. He's like that. Oh, who's the actor who was on the Mary Tyler Moore show? Ed Asner, who always looked like he was 80. Jim Leland always looked 75. He was never young.
He has a great quote about someone's that because prolific smoker
Oh yeah.
during games, and they asked him about it, and he had a good story where he was like, you know what, I'm a smoker. They're asking him about smoking or something, and he was like, listen, there is the best time of my life, the best time of the year. There is no thing I look forward to more than after Thanksgiving dinner. I'm just wearing a flannel shirt, and like my brother or whatever, like whoever, if he's talking like family, like we're at Thanksgiving, you eat the big meal, you go back for seconds, you have a couple beers, and you just get so full. And when you step outside and it's cold Thanksgiving night and you're just wearing that flannel shirt, that first cigarette after Thanksgiving dinner, and he was like, you cannot describe how satisfying that moment is, and I love it. I just love it. And
He was a quote
just now,
machine.
like, just think of Jim Leland on Thanksgiving night out in the
Yeah.
garage, choking down a couple of heaters with like his cousins and stuff, like 50 years old, and his fucking like, it's just a great visual.
Yeah.
He's still alive, right?
Yeah, no, he works. He has a role within the Tigers organization. I mean, I think it's more symbolic. Like once he retired, they kind of just, they handed him, ambassador to the team or something like that. But no, yeah, he's still kicking. Last time he managed was WBC, man. They won it all in 17. He was the manager.
There's the famous clip of him getting mad during "God Bless America" at Yankee Stadium.
Yes, that was when he was with the Tigers. So he stops in the middle of what a patriot. Yeah.
Screaming his head off. And then they start singing "God Bless America." Turns, stops, takes his hat off, goes into full like patriot mode. As soon as the song gets done, he puts his hat back on and just starts fucking going in on the umpire. The umpire was young too. He was in his. He had to be in his mid to late 30s, which is for Major League umpire standards. I mean, you're a baby.
Yeah.
I think Joe West is like 26 years old. Like,
It's hard to imagine.
like
Talk about another guy who was never
25,
young.
26. Yeah. And he's an easy guy to come at for inconsistencies and like strike zones and stuff. But that was a guy who ran a game though. Like when it was his.
Oh,
game,
yeah.
It was his crew, his fucking show, and that was kind of what I was talking about earlier. With like, there isn't a good umpire. Like you have control, and you're not getting not one just because Tito's in one dugout doesn't mean, and fucking Scott Services in the other doesn't mean you're going to be better to the Guardians because
Right.
It's Tito. Like part of it is like you're bigger than them. Like fuck you, dude. I'm a fucking umpire.
Yeah. I'm not, at least in my experiences, I'm not saying he was great. I don't recall, at least with my team, any instances of like, oh shit, Joe West is calling the game tonight. Like I'm not saying like when he was bad, he was usually pretty bad on both sides. Like he was pretty consistently bad. So he never bothered me as much as he bothered some other people. And he was such an institution too. Like yeah.
If he missed a fucking call, like in the first or second inning, like on the outside part of the zone, like he would just be like, we're just gonna call that tonight. Like, no, I didn't miss that call.
Yeah.
That's a strike zone tonight. Like I call that pitch. Like one of those type of guys where it's like, well, fucking, he's calling it in. No, I don't know about it. Like, the fact that we're even sitting here talking about Joe West is a testament to Joe West.
Right.
I like that they have their own straps and they can wear different gear. Like, who is the guy who used to wear the fucking blazer? Was it McClellan?
I think it was McClellan was the umpire, yeah. You see, these are the innings where the pitch clock is going to be so great in baseball. Because I heard some people recommend, like, well, why don't they remove the pitch clock for the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings or something like that? I'm like, well, that defeats the entire purpose. Because it's relievers who take... Yeah, relievers take forever. That's why one of my favorite Tiger pitchers of all time, not just because of his last name, Doug Fister. He was a human pitch clock. He would go like 10, 15 seconds between pitches. Like, he was like the right-handed Burley.
I really liked Doug Fister for a while.
He was good, man. 6'8". I think the tallest Tigers pitcher of all time, I think.
One of my... you hate Jordan Zimmerman, but I really liked him when he was at the Nationals.
He was great with the net. Okay, I don't... Hate's strong. I'm sure in the moment I did. My biggest... Because people get mad at players for contracts when that's stupid. Like, of course Zimmerman's going to take 5 years, 125 mil. Like, I give him a lot of credit because I remember there was, especially like 17, 18, when he was like just, I think in 2019 he was 1-13. He tried everything. Like, he tried mixing in more sinkers, more sliders. Like, it was just a prime example of a guy that they got who was just toast. I don't blame him. Like, of course he signed the deal. That was just another one of... That offseason was such a disaster for us. We signed Mike Pelfrey, who was basically unpitchable. Mark Lowe, who had an ERA of 7. Jordan Zimmerman, who's probably the worst contract in Detroit sports history. And Justin Upton, who he traded away a year later for a guy who doesn't play baseball anymore.
Bad run there, huh?
Yeah, that was just the beginning.
Boy, did I like Jordan Zimmerman. He didn't walk anybody.
No, he's great. He was great with the Nats. Yeah. It was one of those deals that would never have been signed today because it was a 30 plus something pitcher with, a dip in velocity on his fastball. He never would have gotten the mega deal we gave him. What's bizarre?
He went to Wisconsin Stevens Point, which is a Division II school.
Yeah, I know. I knew he was from Wisconsin.
It's big pitch, big moment. All right, Cuba, let's fucking get the show on the road here, folks. Alexi, there's a great Cuban for you. Alexi, yes.
Yes!
Almost got hit by Alexi Ramirez one time walking to the beach. He was driving a Porsche, and I threw my hands up in there and said, "What the fuck, man?" And then he rolled down his window and it was Alexi.
It's Alexi Ramirez.
I said, "You on the field?" Instantly, I went from being like, "Dude, what the fuck?" to be like, yo, you had the field? Man, fuck you. I was like, all right, that was cool. Alexi just told me to fuck off. It's a great pitch. Yohan Moncada. This is classic Yohan Moncada to come up in a big spot with 2 strikes and just take, like, you just take. Like that pitch is thigh high outer third, and he just takes.
Off speed too. Yeah. I bet he doesn't see a fastball this at bat.
That's such a good pitch to yank him and get his body moving down the line as a lefty on a right, because he can. And I love changeups off of breaking stuff when guys are aggressive on the breaking stuff, because the changeup, especially if it looks even remotely like the fastball, because
Yeah.
he's so early right now. There it is. It's a great pitch. It's such a great pitch when they yank it foul, because then they're like, well, I'm way too early. I got to re. Anytime the hitter's just thinking about their timing, you're like, you're fucked.
Mm-hmm.
It's great pitching. 2-1. Vinny's leading off. It's early, but this I don't like to talk about the pace of play, actually. I don't like talking about pace of play. Because the second you bring it up, bring up pace of play, what do you think's going to happen?
What, in the game, or you talking about what people are going to say about it?
In
The game's going to slow to a crawl.
Oh. It's the most guaranteed thing in sports.
Yeah.
No, an announcer saying that the guy shoots 91% from the free throw line.
And then he misses free throws.
Yeah, right away misses the first.
Yeah. It's like that with kickers, too.
Well, he's virtually automatic distance.
Yeah.
Snap's good. The hold is down. The kick is up.
Alexi Ramirez was Cuban, right?
Yeah, he was Cuban. That's how I brought him up. He was a great hitter. Just kind of a shitty modern player. He would walk like 20 times.
Yeah, he never walked, but he had some good years.
Had a commercial for a cruise. Would you go on a cruise? Are you a cruise guy?
I've never been on a cruise. I'm not opposed to it, though. I'd go.
Okay. You should go on a cruise with. Should get like the cruise crew from Barstool. Who would be a good cruise crew? Get like you. I
feel like Mitzi would be a good cruise guy.
I mean, Mitzi would be good if he was working for the cruise. Like he'd be a good like yeah, on the 3rd floor, Ben Mintz is there from 6 to 10 p.m. Like you can like that would be a good. Hey, welcome to the cruise. I'm Ben Mintz. Like that would be a good role. I don't know if Ben would be like. It'd be funny to hang out on a cruise pool with Ben Mintz at like 9 a.m.
Yeah.
And he's just like sober, took an edible. Let's see who else. I wouldn't do it to Large. I wouldn't make Large do it. Spider for sure. He can.
Spider's a great vibe guy. Yeah.
Yeah. And he won't. It's like. I was like one of either Spider or Large. Large his kids. You can't make them look.
That's true.
I mean,
hey.
He just smashes baseballs.
Attaboy.
All he does is smash baseballs. OBP's up to 750. The Barstool Sports OBP, Barstool's OBP, Vinny with another rocket.
Could use some insurance here.
All he does is hit rock. So this is something I was thinking about with, with Vinny sending us stuff, and and contributing to the Barstool baseball brand in the World Baseball Classic. And we'll probably get some, I would imagine we're going to do a couple more things together.
Yeah.
And I have done a bad job. We have to institutionalize his success, individual success. I need to steal it. Sure, Vinny is 2 for 3, 750 OBP. Every ball's been hit hard. But Barstool baseball is 2 for 3.
Right.
We're seeing it well. Because he's if you went viral on a Barstool baseball thing, I'd be like, yeah, Barstool baseball just went viral.
Yeah. Right, for sure. Yeah.
When I publish a blog and we tweet out, it's like Barstool Baseball publishes a blog, and I want to do the same thing with Vinny. So when Vinny hits, it's like Barstool Baseball we're on second base right now. I think that's fair. I think that's totally fair.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we, it's like, well, what do you guys do? What, John Boyd or other media, have stuff they do, different programming. We have a guy on second base right now, is the way I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
That's our guy. And not like a sponsored NIL guy, like a legitimate, we're going to get it. Update. I cannot wait to post the post-game update. Hey, Carl, it's 11:57 local time. I mean, how did I get my arm wrapped like this around a cord? Okay. We're seeing it well. It's basically my point.
Yeah.
I feel like you could go put a good swing on it right now because hitting's contagious.
This pitcher's command stinks too. They've done a good job seeing him.
When is the last time you saw a pitch in a batter's box with a helmet on with the intent to hit it?
Oh my God. Dude, a long fucking time.
Can I get you to stand in on? Would you stand in on guys?
I do it. Yeah, I need to get some prep in first and just make myself.
I don't think prep would be part of the. I think you'd have to just go stand in. I think you're raw. 27-year-old smoked cigarette for the first time. How old are you now? Are you still 27?
I'm 27. Yeah, I'm gonna be 28 in June.
All right, so 20 happy 28th birthday.
Thank you.
We'll make you go stand. You'll go stand in on somebody who just got drafted or something that throws 90.
That'd work.
An hour for the first time. That's harder.
That'd be good. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm sure it'd be. I remember. What's funny is the finals, and Jeff has talked about this already, so I'm not spoiling anything. The Final Four for the dozen is live this year in Chicago. And I think they're filming it June 8th. June 9th is my birthday, so I might just stay down there for that.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Get to the Final Four, throw yourself a party.
Yeah, let's get there first. Yeah.
What team are you on?
I'm on Flux with Mitzi and Joey Camasta. We're hot right now. We beat Uptown Balls, and then we beat Frankettes last week. We nearly caused a rift on the Frank and the Frankettes team.
Well, you can't ask Ben Mintz a Chick-fil-A question. A Chick-fil-A question?
I still don't. There's a Chick-fil-A 2 minutes from my house in the west side of Lansing, Michigan. It's not some regional brand. Jeez.
Yeah, this is bad.
Oh, good for us.
I mean, for Cuba. I mean, it's good.
Yeah.
It's great for us. I mean, let's plate Vinny here. Oh, he's got a great dude. Here's a great little bit from him. We were talking about blowouts and hitting in the ninth inning when you're hitting's hard enough.
Right.
Hitting in the ninth inning, he said, when your team is either up by a lot or down by a lot, he's like it's the worst.
Yeah.
And he goes, it's the worst when you're. And he's like, he's like, I like 4 plate appearances. I like 4. I give you 4. When we get to 5, 5's a lot. 4 is a good number. I give you 4 really good ones. 5, man, it's like, ooh. I'm 2 for 4. 2 for 4 is great. 2 for 5 is 2 for 5 is not great. 2 for 4 is great. And so he's talking about how, so you're on the deck circle, 2 outs, you're up 6 or 7, 8 runs. Man, do I really like a line drive to the third baseman.
Yeah.
Caught hardest hit ball tonight. I want my guys to smoke it, smash it, see it well. And if somebody catches it and the game's over now and I have to have that 5th plate appearance, that'd be great. And he's like, 4 I can do. And I'm telling the story because I'm thinking about, all right, he's 2 for 3, walk, run scored. They played him here. That's 2 runs scored. Hell of a fucking day, man.
Yeah.
Day. Sully. Come on. Come on. Those balls are fucking shit on. Not by Sully, way to hang. Way to hang. He's a good looking kid, good looking ball player. Two one, top 8, 2-2 count, second and third. Sully at the plate, 5-hitter from the left side. Man, I mean, I hate to be selfish, but I would love to plate Vinny here, 3-1.
Gotta throw him a strike. Well, I guess base is open, but still, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's probably going to throw the same. I think he's going to throw. I would throw a slider here or a cutter.
On 3-2?
Whatever this guy's secondary thing is. I wouldn't throw a fastball here because it's essential that you get this guy out without the runner on third scoring.
Right.
And I don't know. He got him swinging on a 2-1, and then he spiked another one. Yeah, he's throwing a slider. The Cubans are just doing second signs. Great. Get out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Changing pitchers?
Are they? It looks like they're meeting. Let's see.
Dude,
Yeah,
what's with you liking? I haven't looked up the movie Shame, but your TikTok review is startling to say the least.
Hey, have you never heard of it?
I mean, I haven't, and you're like, it's one of my favorite movies of all time. Checking in at number 12 on the list. and then you're like, is one of the more fucked up movies you'll ever see.
Yeah, it is not an
Just
enjoyable
describe an
experience.
extremely fucked up movie. Yeah.
Yeah. There's some movies
Not
like that where it's
enjoyable.
like, I think this is amazing, but I have no interest in ever watching it again.
I'm reading the plot on Wikipedia now.
Oh yeah, I mean that barely skims the surface. I mean visually, it leaves very little to the imagination. Hey Carl,
What's up, brother?
we're live still, but on the Riverside stream, it says that the recording is done.
Okay. I will go start that. I will go rerun it.
Okay, yeah, we're still live, so it doesn't. We're fine, but it just says recording was fully uploaded. You can close page now.
Da, 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 da. Are we coming through?
On the YouTube stream? Yeah. Yeah, we're live on YouTube.
Yeah, we use Riverside to show Riverside. Like if we just did live on YouTube, it would just be like one camera, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But Riverside is like a streaming service that
Right.
pairs with YouTube, so we use Riverside to I have no fucking.
No, you're right.
I'm
We do the
fucking-
same with Lights Camera Barstool. We do the same thing. So yeah, you're right.
I watched the YouTube at 3:30 in the morning. Text you guys. I have no confidence in this whatsoever. And here we are, my friend.
Yeah.
Top 8. Trying to play Vinny. Yeah, we'll take some questions too. I'm here. Don't be bashful, guys. Don't be bashful. Obviously, nothing weird. I don't want to get too heavy stuff. The plot on this, I had to stop reading. It's we got sisters involved. We got fucking.
Oh yeah, no, it's not. But it's not a happy film.
Tag, Vinny. Tag. Get down.
It's big out.
What do we got, boys? What do we got? We're fucking live. I told you guys we'd be live. I told you guys Vinny would play well too. And people don't believe me. I'm sitting here editing vlog episode number 3. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Number 3's coming out. Number 3. Let the big man play a little bit. Get a taste for how good he is. Now you're gonna come back for more. I got him visiting a school in Taiwan with Matt Harvey. I mean, that's nice. That's
Oh,
good
really?
content right there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Boys at a school, rally in the crowd. It's like something out of a Kobe doc. Streets of Beijing.
Yeah.
Rest
Oof.
in peace, Kobe.
R.I.P.
What is Matt Harvey doing right now? Nobody in the chat asked it, but if I was in the chat, that's a question I would ask. Matt Harvey right now, he's done with ice. Is that Festa? Yeah. Little stem. Voop, 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 voop. Come on, something in the dirt. Big lipper and probably having a cold one. Probably having something fucking exotic. A little Taiwanese wine. Come on, Nikki. Great stirrups.
Yeah.
It kind of bothers me Piazza's not wearing their jersey. That boy, Nikki.
Oh!
What a play. What a freaking play.
2 runs right
Oh
there.
my
Save
God.
Moncada.
Yeah.
Going to his right, diving
Man,
play.
that was a hell of a play. What a shot, too. I mean, that's why you can't talk shit to Yohan Moncada if you're his manager, because you're just like,
We know the talent's there. Yeah.
yeah, like he can just do that. So, like, that's not that hard for him to do. That's not to him. That's just like, yeah, of course, I just made that play. Like he's not like. I'll guarantee he's not walking to the dugout going, I can't believe I just made that play. Well, holy shit. He's walking to the dugout going, that's what happens when you hit it hard at me.
Yeah.
I got you. He's like telling the boys, like, I got you fucking guys. You know, he's a fucking cocky dude, man. He's such a cocky fucking dude.
Who's a player that you would say is like the opposite of that? Like, I'm not going to necessarily call him unconfident, but like
Would
just more of a
never in
grinder.
1,000 years be like, JT Realmuto is the first person that comes to mind.
Yeah.
Who would never in 1,000 years be like, but all he fucking JT Realmuto is just like, he's the best.
He's having a Hall of
So
Fame career. People aren't like bringing that up. He's a tremendous player. God,
I
he had
think
a
I think the
6'5"
gap
WAR.
between him and the second best catcher, which would be Adley, is going into next year is still substantial. Like I know Adley's going to be great.
It's
but, like,
substantial, but I think Adley's going to catch him relatively quickly. But I'm also like I've even going back to college, I was huge on Rutschman. I think Rutschman will be to the Orioles what Buster Posey was to the Giants. Like, and I don't even think I think the Orioles last year.
Where JT's at from like how he like runs a staff, older guy. Like Adley will be that. Adley will be that.
Yeah.
Like, JT's been in the league like 7 years, all-star. When he calls a fucking pitch, you throw the fucking pitch.
Yeah.
You know, like he hit third in that playoffs. Oof. Third.
Yeah. Because Hoskins was yeah, he bet third, and then Harper would bet fourth. Yeah, he had a 6.5 WAR last year, man. I mean, he was. I knew it wouldn't happen, but God, when he was a free agent, I wanted the Tigers to go after him so bad. I think
People don't realize with WAR for catchers is you gotta fucking WAR is a aggregate statistic.
Right.
It's like home runs and RBIs and shit. You have to play to accumulate. For catchers, a 6.5 WAR. You got played like a lot of catchers. 115 starts, couple games at DH. They're like the playing time limit. So to do that as a catcher, 6.5 is.
It's ridiculous, yeah.
Ugh. You guys got a good catcher?
I like Eric Haas. Him and Jake Rogers will split time this year, though. I think Haas can DH and play a little bit of left as well. He was probably, I think in terms of WRC plus, I think our best player last year. Now, which isn't saying much, but I think he was. We also had, I think, of the 5 worst players in terms of WRC plus last year, I think 3 of them were on our team. I think Torkelson, Scope, and Candelario were all in the bottom 5.
I I never liked Candelario, even when he was even when he was like good. I just
Yeah, I don't know what
these
happened to him.
grubs.
You always felt like his ceiling was higher than he played. The organization liked him. By all accounts, a good guy. He had 1 year where he put it together. He was really good in 21, and then after that, he just fell off. As did everyone last year. No, that was what was so weird is there's certain players like I know Robbie Grossman's a pretty good player. He's awful for us last year. I've seen Jonathan Scope be an 80 plus RBI guy. Awful last year. Torque went 1-1, had statistically the worst rookie season ever by a number one pick. Hobby was bad. Really, the only players I think that graded out to be above league average were Riley Green, who only played like 70 games, and Eric Haas.
Yeah, I like Riley Green.
I think he's going to have a big year. He's lifting the ball finally. He's got that power stroke, it seems. I think he's going to have a big year. Yeah. I would be stunned if by the end of the season he's not our best player. I mean, you could argue he might honestly be right now. Because that's a big thing. We haven't developed a position player like perennial all-star since like Tram and Whitaker in the 80s. That's a fucking long stretch, dude.
That is
well, like we had some guys who had good years, like Alex Avila was, started for us for a long time. Granderson made an all-star team with us, but like his best years were after he left Detroit. But in terms of drafting and development, we've got a few pitchers, obviously Verlander and Porcello and those guys. Smiley, who's now with you guys, but position players, no.
Man.
Yeah, so in the chat, Phil just put Jonathan Scope worst qualified hitter in baseball in 2022, 57 WRC plus. Well, for some reason, we have a lineup of guys that never walk. And so, like, if a guy like Scope is struggling, you can't even go with the Joey Gallo principle of like, well, at least he's drawing walks and getting on base. Like him and Javi chase more than almost any players in baseball. I think Castellanos is on that list too. But.
Yeah, they're just like swing first guys. Like when Castellanos gets in the box, he's like, all right, whatever you're throwing up there, I'm gonna fucking hit it. Now, obviously that means whatever. Like the good part of that though is like if you need a knock, those are great guys. Like when it's ninth inning and 2 outs and the runner's on second, all that shit, and the guy's awesome. Like those are the type of guys you really like to have a bat like that in the lineup because those guys are fearless. Mm-hmm. I mean, like you cannot compromise their confidence pre at bat, mid at bat, like. When Nick Castellanos gets in, and we're just using him as an example, or Javi, like when those guys get in the box, like to them they're like the kings of the world, like
right, which can be both good and bad.
Yes, can be good and bad.
Yes, I think it's a great person to have in the lineup, but not in the heart of it. Like the year that you guys won it all, I want to say he batted 6th or 7th throughout that postseason. He might have gone up near the end because he was so hot, but like he's a great.
Yeah, he's not a. The 1 year he had to finish second in MVP voting, he was just really hot in August. And once they moved him over to shortstop full time, he like took over. He's I like him as a part of a good team. I don't like him as
he's not the number one guy on a great team
of a good team.
Yeah,
and then culturally, I don't know if he brings 25 guys together. He can bring.
I would be very very surprised if he did.
Yeah,
I think that's an issue that's kind of plagued the Tigers for a while. Like I love Miguel Cabrera. Obviously, he's one of the greatest hitters of all time, but he's not. I don't know. I've never seen him as like a vocal, and I could be wrong. A vocal, huge like clubhouse. Let's rally people. Like you were talking about Jose Abreu earlier. The best teams are full of guys like that. Like the Freddie Freemans, the Altuves. I don't really feel like Detroit has that. I know obviously the hitters learn a ton just being around Cabrera, but Yeah, I think leadership has kind of been an issue.
Just like when you're at Cabrera's level, like that season's over, like the last day of the season. The fucking nice play. The oh man, Vinny couldn't have caught that anymore in big league. I love that shit so much. Um, you can't like you can't. It's like hard to explain. All right, the season's over. Last game of the season, last out. Boom. The fucking a guy like Miguel Cabrera is showered, changed, bags packed on a private jet
Yeah.
back to Venezuela. 45 fucking minutes after that game's over.
Yeah.
Like they're just so big league and big time, and like then you mix that with like regular league minimum. What was your catcher's name? Haas.
Eric Haas, yeah.
Yeah, like that fucking guy. That guy's flying middle seat commercial home. You know, even though they aren't. Whatever. Like the point is, there's just like that very level where Cabrera, like, dude, he's there to hit. He's a pro. 3,000 hits, first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the greatest hitters of all time.
Yeah.
Like, there was probably a point in his career, maybe with the Marlins or when he first got to Detroit, where he's playing with Maglio, where he's like a little bit more, fuck, we got a tie game, boys.
I legitimately think he was all in until they stopped being competitive, which is just maybe this coincidence, maybe it isn't. Like right around the time his production started to fall off, like 2016, 2017. Now he's good in 16, but like since 17, he's been a shell of himself, and a lot of that was injuries. Like he played, I give him credit, he played through a lot of injuries. He did not have a stint on the IL till 2015. He probably should have. In 2013 and 14, he was on one leg, and played through it. I feel like once he got the extension, it was it becomes a little bit less important, and the team started sucking. So,
was it 245 million?
I believe so. Yeah.
What was the extension? Yeah, 245. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, another one of those deals that I would be surprised if somebody offered today. Paying a guy till he's in his early 40s. Meanwhile, we got a tie game here.
I was just doing the math in my head about when Vinny comes up. 8-9-1-2. So he could hit with runners on first and second and 2 outs.
In the ninth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nicky made the last out. He's hitting 7th.
That's right. Okay, so yeah.
Well, it's pretty cool that the Cuban player who scored the run here, Despaigne, is their 37-year-old. Like, he's probably the oldest guy on the team. He's probably their most.
It's got to be.
Sorry, Phil, my video's going out. Could make a coffee. Could get a string cheese here. Could get a rally cheese. Should get a rally cheese going. Should just get a little bit of rally cheese here. I'll do it. I will do it. Fine. I'm live. I'm live. We're fucking live, boys. We're live,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. Told you to get the cheese. So, I got it. Told you guys. Limburger. What's that from?
What's that?
Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year. Give him the Limburger. it's a cheese or not.
Dude, I gotta send you this video. It was making me laugh. It was I can't remember the name of the channel who posted it. Somebody did a deep dive into basically every baseball movie and graded it based on how well they played baseball. Like if guys were actually playing and shit, like how realistic it looked. It was pretty funny, especially when you like to pay attention to some of the ones that didn't do it right, where they just get the score wrong. Or it was blatantly obvious the pitcher was throwing like 45. It was pretty good. It was a long video, but I watched the entire thing.
Who is the best team, or who is the best?
What number one in terms of just how they played? Let me check.
This fucking refrigerator. You smell. You make all the sounds in the world. We're back. 2-2. Italy, Cuba. It's early. We've been streaming, haven't slept. Stayed up all night, got Whataburger, watched Tin Cup, worked on the video for today. Got my mind right on the Cuba Sky Report. Gas, oops.
Oof.
Dominating the string cheese right now. Dominating it. I'll take a couple questions. Not too many ninth inning questions, but I will take a few. That's good angle, good heat from Martinez. 95.
Ooh, wow,
coming in
yeah.
at a fucking 8-degree. Could be a 9. Could be a 9-degree. And that's gas. Which, with each degree of angle in which a four-seam fastball travels from release point to home plate, each degree, if it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, coming downwards, the ball looks smaller and smaller and smaller. So you got like fucking Randy Johnson letting go of a ball up here. Thing looks like a fucking little dot. But that's why I say shorter pitchers who are pushing it, the ball looks like a beach ball. Things coming in flat. Things coming in at 1 degree, 0. Yak.
That's why
This
Pedro
motherfucker-
Martinez. That's why Pedro Martinez
Yes.
is the dominant pitcher that ever lived. He was 5'11" or something. Just threw it right by guys.
Tim Lincecum, great
Yeah.
angle. Threw it about 11 degrees. Ball came out here. He figured out a way to get his hand. His hand was so on top of the ball. His mechanics were so flawless. Hard to hit. That's a filthy splitter. And that was in the scouting report, too. Lefty relievers, righty relievers on lefties, 0-1 split all day.
Mm.
Because if you get a silly swing and miss in your 0-2, it's like, ugh. And nothing elicits a silly swing and miss like a splitter. Great fucking. This pitcher's got nasty.
He's got good stuff. He's mixing, fucking with their timing too. It seems like. Somebody in the chat asked what rookies am I looking forward to seeing this year. I'm not just saying this because he's a Michigan native. But if you're looking for good odds, the Barstool Sportsbook, I really like Hunter Brown for American League Rookie of the Year. I think that every year since 2014, the Astros have had a rookie who, if they haven't won Rookie of the Year, has been in contention. They had it last year with Pena, obviously Correa in 15, Jordan, Frommer in 2020. I think that we could get something similar from Hunter Brown this year. I love his stuff.
Price that you said?
What's that? It was value. Yeah, let me check because it might have changed, but I tweeted about it a few weeks ago.
Would you have it? 10? 13 to 1? 10 to 1?
It was. No, it was okay. It wasn't that good. It was plus 850 a few weeks ago.
That's 10 to 1.
Yeah, so close to 10 to 1. Yeah.
Casual conversation, I'd call that a 10 to 1.
Yeah, that's fair.
Now, if someone wants to get sharp on it and be like, "Oh, really?" It's at 850 now, but it's moving. I like it. I mean, he's gonna have 175 strikeouts. He's gonna make 26 starts.
Yeah. There was
I
some.
just don't know how inclined voters are going to be to give a rookie of the year to a guy in the Astros who dominates. Like if anybody on any small market team, even remote comparable
Yeah.
season, they will get the award over the Houston Astros.
Yeah.
Because the baseball writers need something to fucking talk. I got problems with baseball writers and their agendas.
Yeah.
I just none of them are real. Ken Rosenthal's real. That dude's
Rosenthal's
real.
real.
He keeps it real. And Passan does a good job. He's online. He's a good.
I
he's a good
like Pass a
narration.
lot. Yeah.
Yeah, he does a good job. If I could change places with one person, it'd be Bob Nightingale. I think Bob Nightingale has the best job in the world because he's like a baseball player. He hits 300. Like he gets out 7 times.
That's fair.
He just keeps going, and people love Bob Nightingale. And Bob Nightingale hangs out in Scottsdale, for a couple beers, hangs out. Just that's all. He just hangs out. He's just around. It's Bob Nightingale.
Remember that
Great.
one
I
night?
don't think he writes anymore.
Does he not write? I just remember that one night during the heart of the lockout when like Nightingale was reporting that they were like at the goal line of getting a deal done and they weren't.
Oh, yeah, classic Bob. Yeah,
Yeah, he
that's
became
Bob.
like
Yeah.
he became the hero of the night though because everyone was like, "Hey, Nightingale's reporting it. You got to believe him now."
Oh yeah, I mean that was like a. I was like, but we should probably double check this one, guys.
Yeah,
For
right.
Bobby here, but but then let's just say like the 30, but like the. I mean, there was no way Bob Nightingale was breaking Correa. There was just, I applaud the guy, but
he broke the trade that never happened, right? He broke the Shelby Miller for Javi Baez deal.
Did he?
Yeah, I think he tweeted once that you guys had traded Javi for Shelby Miller, which would have been a fucking disaster, but
Yeah. Well. Could have just added it to the list for that crew. No, that team was destined to come apart. That team could not have stayed apart. That was like the amount of scandals and issues. Right, like not re-signing center field. He signs with the Cardinals,
yeah.
and then the Cubs still don't have a center fielder. They have to wait for Pete Crow Armstrong.
Crow, yeah. Unless Bellinger finds it again.
Right, he's 1 year deal. He's not.
Yeah, that's true. That's only 1 year. Yeah, it's a fair point. Yeah.
And if he is good, they're going to trade him at the trade deadline. So they can't. They botched Dexter Fowler. He gets $80 million somewhere. They fucked Wilson Contreras like crazy. He said he didn't.
Yeah, that was the weird one to me.
Addison Russell, poor kid, just a poor kid. A lot of issues. Just a lot of issues in the spotlight and being the guy and not coming from any type of background where he was ready to be in the spotlight. And dude, he came up in the Oakland organization where it was like, yeah, you're out in Modesto, California, playing in front of fucking 40 people, half of which are relatives of your teammates.
Yeah.
It's not a good situation. Did a lot. Javi too was like, I don't think those guys, they didn't get along. He had Zobrist's wife was cheating on her.
Yeah, that was a
Rizzo's
weird
pissed
one.
He didn't get an extension. KB's mad that they're falsely reporting an extension. Lester's mad that he's not getting the game one fucking starts. I mean, it's just like everybody's just mad at each other. I shouldn't say it like that because they obviously were a great team, but more of a house of cards to me than it was like bro that people wanted to see.
Yeah, I mean, people always every time a team wins it all, it's always glorified as, "Oh, we were so close. We knew from day one." Well, it's like, no, you didn't. Like now, maybe with that Cubs team because it was one of the last times where the team that was like the prohibitive favorite preseason won the World Series. Like you guys were favorites basically the second the 2015 season ended, and that was before you went out and got Lackey and Zobrist and those guys.
Yeah, they started 26-4, 26-5 or something.
Yeah, they got off to
something really. Sure, but that was
I just
division, dude. Like at the Reds were rebuilding. The Pirates had just had just traded Garrett Cole and gotten rid of all their shit. The Cardinals just lost Jason Hayward to us, John Lanky to us. Like the Cardinals
Yeah.
they weren't. It was like, oh, we were making fun of Milwaukee. Milwaukee had just drafted like Corbin Burns and him
Yeah.
was developing. I remember Brandon Woodruff taking him out in 17 and seeing fucking meatballs and being like, well, this guy just throws four-seamers over the plate. We're going to
Well, Woodruff or Burns was like that for a minute too. Burns was so hittable, then he just wasn't. Like I think the COVID year he just figured it out.
Yeah, he went into the lab and was
Yeah.
working on it. Came out with a cutter or something.
Yeah,
That's a good YouTube. There's a good YouTube, like 10, 15 minute on like the evolution of Corbin Burns stats data, and then some quotes on. Not to be a huge nerd, not to get too into the weeds and reading guys' quotes about their spin rates and stuff, but it's important to them. It's important to me.
Yeah, no, I mean I'm a pitching guy, so that stuff interests me.
Yep. Balls up. Fucking stay fucking closed. He's just amped. He's jacked up.
Yeah.
2-0. I just feel like this taking a big swing here. There's a chance he pops. There's a chance the ball goes into the night sky here because
Really?
he just cannot find it. You cannot put a guy out. You cannot walk a guy with 2 outs in a tie game. Fucking bottom of the ninth inning.
You just got to be sitting heater then.
Yeah, I mean he's not. There's no way he's swinging there. He probably ain't swinging here on 3-1 either. To be honest with you. 4 pitches is what I would get. I mean, I would. If you're this guy, you have to. I think it's Gilbert. I can't say his name, but you have to unload. You have to unload here. And that's like 88 with a little cut over the middle of the plate. Come on. Now, if you throw it on 3-1, you throw it on 3-2. Meaning, if you see an off-speed pitch on 3-1 as a hitter, you're probably going to see an off. But he doesn't need to strike him out. This guy's a weak-ass fucking hitter. Just throw him a fastball. There you go.
That's what he did.
Get over there. Cover the fucking bag. Yeah, that guy's not a good hitter. Challenge his ass. Punch him inside. I want to say that. All right, Vinny.
Is he leading off?
Yeah, hey, no. See? If they run out there again, he's going to hit one off the fucking scoreboard. 95, right? Emmanuel Class A, what's his name?
Class A, yeah. Oh, God, he's filthy, man.
Yeah. So there's a funny story where the Royals are playing him for the first time, and there's a group of young Royals players that came up together. There's like 5 minor leaguers that were in AAA, and over a course of a couple of weeks, part of that was a trip to Toronto because of COVID.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But then later in the season, they were playing together. They're playing the Indians, and Class A came in. And Vinny had seen him, and like the night before, or 2 nights before, and he got a hit off of him. And another minor, like rookie, had seen him this same night and struck out a couple, 3 or 4 pitches.
Mm-hmm.
So he was warming up, and they're like, "Hey, what did you guys see the other night?" And I won't respect to him because he was just like, "It's the nastiest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. He's gonna throw this. It looks like it's going up. It starts going down. Once it starts going this way, and like I did the blah blah blah." I'm like, "Vinny, what did you see?" And Vinny's like, baseball. I just saw a baseball and I swung at it." And it's like, dude, get the fuck out of here. Fuck out of here, man. Like, leave the conversation. We don't want to listen to you right now if that's how you're going to talk to us.
Yeah.
Because the guys are really serious, like, right? It's like a serious emotional about, like, like, what are you willing to try and do, and what are they trying to do to you? And, like, I think I'm going to fucking hit it the other way. Like, it's just a weird, vulnerable thing where guys want to keep their thoughts in their head. So he's just like, yeah, I just tell guys, I have an affinity for those who they're like, yeah, it's super simple. I just see it and I hit it. It's like, fuck you.
Yeah, I know. That's 1 in a million. But yeah.
Who knows if that's true or not, too? You could be lying.
With some guys, I'm sure it is, I think it's something that sounds cool, but
Oh, so we do have runners on second base here.
Yeah, I knew that rule I think was carrying over. Yeah. Do you bunt him here?
No. No, Italy's got like what 9-10 hits on the night.
Yeah.
Fletcher can handle a bat. Who is this?
This is
No, it's not Fletcher. Valente.
Valente.
Yeah, he is butting him over for Vinny. Vinny's on deck, right?
Yeah.
It went 7-8-9 last inning, so now, no, it went 8-9-1. Now 2-3-4. Now you could show a bunt like he just did here and pull back. I don't think you would do that. It's a great play.
Great play.
That's such a good play. And that's Yohan Moncada just at sleep at the fucking wheel, dude. That's so bad.
He wasn't even there. Yeah. Wow. Look, he was on the infield grass. That is a great play.
Because, like, in that moment, he's showing bunt, the runner's stealing. Moncada's responsibilities immediately revert back.
Get back to the base, yeah.
Immediately revert back. There's a run to your bag. Go to your bag. And he's that catcher is probably motherfucking him so much right now.
Yeah.
And like that's the thing that like that'll kill teammates. That'll piss these guys off and the relievers off. Like, and then people will be like, "Oh, what's wrong with Yohan Moncada?" It's like, Do you have a second to understand bunt defense responsibility? Suicide? No. Valente, 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts. This is the 5th plate appearance we're talking about.
Yeah.
Tough. I'm sucking eggs. I'm just sucking them. I'm fucking sucking.
That's the
Italy's up.
Vinny time.
All right, turn on Tubi, folks. Vinny's up. That's a great fucking take.
Yeah.
How hard is he about to swing this bat? This is interesting because how much has Cuba done their scouting report here? Because your best bet is to pitch and play yourself to a double play, but
Right.
this pitcher may not have that in his. Yeah, I don't think this pitcher has that level of like. I guess command, but that's not what I mean in the baseball sense.
Mm-hmm.
More of like a strikeout power reliever. So you got a runner on first here, nobody out. If you try and strike him out, you make a mistake, you're fucking punished.
Yeah.
What time is it Eastern time?
9:30 right now.
That boy. What a. Oh. Dude, that hack. That was a hack. Holy fuck. He's so mad. Good for him. Good for him. That's so big league. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
When you sky pop up to the outfield that high and you instantly look to your boys in the dugout and you're like, fuck. Like, that's just so big league. That's the type of shit Jared Weaver would throw at your head for.
Yeah.
Like if you did that against Jared Weaver fucking 10 years later, Jared Weaver would be standing outside your house.
Yeah. Yeah, he was petty,
like,
man. Well, no, he threw it.
Attack you.
Carlos Guillen bat flipped him in 2011. The next pitch, he threw it Alex Avila's head.
We're live, boys. We've been live all day. 32 now. 32 now watching. It's an early morning. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for showing up to the early morning.
For sure.
I pop this fucking thing out. When's the last time? White Sox Dave and I spoke yesterday about the trip to Marquette and if he had plans to cover the World Baseball Classic because the White Sox guys. He's at Marquette. I was trying to get him to come into the stream when he was all banged up because I thought it'd be fucking hilarious. But yes, we talk. A little nervous here. I am. I'm a little nervous for Italy gets on the board. We get an early win. Much different content than if they lose this dramatically. So
Yeah.
what else you got, Chris?
Right now, not a ton. And I guess as far as today, I mean, we got in terms of baseball content. What do I have planned today? Well, I'll be putting out some stuff on TikTok.
You don't have to work.
I always got work. I always got to get work.
TikTok. I got a hot dog review for TikTok I got to put up. Problem is it's long, but it's absurd. Absurd. I'm filming the stadium or the Salt River where the Diamondbacks and the Rockies play. Part of the reviews involve a hot dog. And I set up the camera in the corner just so I could be on it. And all the guys working at the concession stand are part of a traveling church. And they like travel down to Scottsdale together from Canada, and they were singing gospel music. Thank God.
Send them.
Thank God.
And a boy.
Thank God.
That was a rope.
Italy's rolling, man. These are good bats, good hitters.
Yeah.
Sneaky good team.
He was all over that one.
Sully. So I'm climbing back. I have a bigger story for the blog I'll tell about on Camelback about a guy who fell down the cliff yesterday.
Yes.
Well, Camelback's a real mountain. You have to climb it with rocks, and no one says that. They're like, yeah, it's all right. And you get up there, you're like, what the fuck is this? You have to, like, climb on the shit. And we were coming down, and there was a guy who was like in his 50s in front of us. It was me and my wife. And so we were probably behind them for like 10 minutes, and you're coming down the different levels and stuff. And he got to a point. He stepped aside, and he was like, "Can you guys go ahead? I'm gonna slow down and start walking. Go a little bit slower." And we were like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." Like
make our way in front of him. Fucking
like
a minute later.
I go down this like path. There's like a big drop. I go down this like big drop, and I'm like looking up, waiting for like my wife. I'm like, "Where is she?" Like a minute goes by. I'm like, "Hey, where are you? Where are you?" I'm like yelling her name, and all of a sudden I just start hearing her screaming, "Mike!" If I climb up there, I'm like, "What's up? Like, what's up?" She's like, "A man fell." And a man fell like. I'm like, "What? Where?" She's like, "It's right." I look down, and the guy's face is holding on to a fucking like a tree branch and a ledge, and his foot up, and he's like, "Can you help me?" And his whole face is covered in blood. He fell down, stumbled, and had like crawled and climbed his way back up, and he could not get over the top. And he was just covered in. And yeah, I was like, holy shit. I couldn't, blood everywhere. I was like, "Do you mind if we'll sit here with you? Well, what do you need?" And the guy's like, "I'm fine." And my wife saw like a short, brief, the end of it, like where he landed, and was like, "That guy should be dead. Like he's dead. He should be dead."
Really?
Like this guy should be. His head was just bashing off the fuck. And he made it down the mountain. So we pull him up. He's just bleeding all over the place. And everybody stops you on the way down. And they say, "Hey, you doing okay?" Now they think it's like my dad. They think it's like, we're out taking dad out for a walk or something. I don't know this guy from Adam. How did I meet this guy? I met him on the side of a cliff. Literally.
Yeah.
Anyways, I brought that story up for some other fucking reason. It was out on the mountain. Come on, Italy. What was I talking about? Come on, Nikki.
He's done some pretty good swings. He's only 1 for 4, but he got 2 RBI taken away from him.
The ball's solid, yes.
Yeah.
Oops.
Ooh.
Mountain, Camelback. Oh, this is why. Before all that shit happened, on the way up, I see a guy in a Wake Forest shirt, just a Wake Forest Demon Deacon. Their baseball program, at the time, 13-1, 14-0, something like that, and they have 2 players that should go in the first round. So it's like a talking point. I see Wake Forest. I was like, and we're passing. I'm coming up. 2 young guys are going up. I'm going down. I'm like, "Oh, dude, Wake Forest, sick college team. Like, you guys are solid. Like, good baseball team if you follow it." And he was like, "Yeah, I actually played." Come on, Nikki. And I'm like, "Get out of here. You played. Yeah. I said, "Do you play still? Are you with a team? What are you doing in Scottsdale?" He said, "We're both agents. We work for an agency. We
wow.
players." And I said, "Get out of here. I work at Barstool. I do some baseball stuff." And I said, I'm working on this funny project. I'll send it to you guys with Vinny Pasquantino." And they said, "Yeah, we represent the Fletcher brothers. We saw it.
Wow.
That's good." It was, talk about a small world.
Small world,
like
man.
anybody's
Yeah.
seen this fucking thing. Only like 1,000 views on them. Standing on the top of Camelback talking to their agents, and they're like, "Yeah. Hey." So I said, "I'll hit you guys up. We'll get a little, we'll go get some coffee or something. Let's go talk." We met on a mountain.
Yeah.
Then I had to. Anyways, come on, Nikki. Are these broadcasters more excited than I anticipated?
They seem like it, yeah.
Or... Shouldn't have said anything about the pace of play. I shouldn't even said anything about how I can't say anything about the pace of play.
It's like the first 2 rules of Fight Club. You just ignore it.
Are you in a fight club?
What? No.
You
first.
would be in a fight club. You would
No.
be in a fight club.
I don't know if I've ever actually been in a fight.
Oh. Well, I guess it'd probably be too late for you to start. That'd be a little fucked up, huh? Like,
I'll wait till we're up and rowdy, man.
You get this edge all of a sudden, it's just like, I'm fucking mad. I gotta fight.
Skinny guys
I
fight
think
to the
there's a
death.
Castellani on Team Italy, but you're not Italian, are you?
No, I'm very much Italian, yeah.
How Italian?
Like 70-something%.
Okay. Oh, boy, up the box. Boys.
He's had a good day.
I mean, Mickey, Vinny, Soli, Tommy, Tony. Let the record show. And Nicky's technically part of Barstool Baseball. We're 4 for 10. No, we're 4 for 9. We're 4 for 9. 444 average. I gotta get the chat fucking going, boys. I gotta get the chat going. This has been an interesting exercise to stay up all night to stream in Italy versus Cuba. Oh, Nicky's all pumped. He's give me the sauce. I don't know what this means. What does this mean? It's just ooh, I like that. Sammy DeMarco says Carl Fettuccini.
Carl Fettuccini?
Fettuccini's in the house. Is what's more attack? Carlito? Is that Carlo? Carlo Fettuccini? Well, how do I make this more Italian? All right, we're heading at 10, guys. We are heading at 10. Extra innings. Riveting stuff here. I want to thank the dozen of you that have showed up. We have a new product at Barstool called the Dozen Stream, where a dozen people watch us stream. A little spinoff
from the dozen.
We ask no trivia questions.
No.
Listen, I didn't show up to this with the expectation that a bunch of people would be here, all cheering, having a good time. That's not how this fucking job works, fellas. Okay?
No.
You got to put in the time. You got to make it count. This isn't about this stream. It's about when Vinny's staring down, when it's 3-2, Game 5, ALDS, and he mashes. And I mean absolutely fucking mashes one off, fill in the blank from some bum reliever from the Seattle Mariners that's lucky to have a job in the first place. Some reclamation project Jerry Dipoto traded for 6 years ago that's finally getting fucking playing time. When Vinny takes him deep and we're doing the post-game pod after, the post-game cell or the live FaceTime afterwards, I would imagine it'll be better. We're moving in the right direction here. What's important is you guys know I'm here. I'm fucking here. I'm watching Italy, Cuba. Obviously, my guy here. I mean, you watch any baseball game that involves professional talent?
Yes, correct. Yeah,
that's a fact.
100%. Yeah, that will never change.
So, it's a journey. It's a journey. And if it was easy, more people would be doing it. No, I'm just kidding. It is pretty easy. Anybody who wants instructions on how to stream, it's just fucking Google it. YouTube it. Or Google. What the brand they call me. Hey, thoughts on Valente, Chris? Just came in from the chat from Crescenzo Spagnoli.
Well, it was a fantastic at bat that he had the last inning. I haven't seen him play a ton, but it seems like this Italy team, like they do a good job of challenging pitchers, just in the sense that they seem to be fouling off a lot of pitches. Like I don't think they have outside of Vinny a ton of big power bats, but it seems like they got a lot of like slap singles guys. Like that's Lopez's MO. That was a huge hit for him.
Yeah, and credit to Valente for. And this we talked the fifth at bat. It's like, yeah, he's 0 for 4.
Yeah.
Punch. He's not looking good. Fifth at bat. Set it straight, man.
So
Gotta be a
this
good feeling.
pool is let's see,
Panama, Netherlands,
Cuba,
Chinese
Italy,
Taipei.
Chinese Taipei. Well, you got to think Netherlands is gonna be moving on. They're already 2-0. So Italy's putting themselves in a good spot here. Somebody asked, how did Harvey look? I mean, the stuff is obviously not what it used to be. He wasn't missing many bats, but it was an efficient game. Like it was, it was 3 or 4 scoreless innings, didn't have any strikeouts, but a lot of weak contact. And I've always wondered, like, if he, and I don't know where it stands, if his stuff could work out of the pen in the major leagues. It seems like he's still hell-bent on starting. I don't know. That's just a theory. Because they weren't really squaring him up, but obviously it's a different ballgame.
Yeah, I don't know where he would. It's tough to start Matt Harvey in 2023. That would be a hard. If it's
He's done. Yeah, he's
in
done.
August, and you have a six game lead, and you need a start, and you're completely out of options, maybe. But yeah, what we saw tonight does not play in the big leagues.
No, definitely not.
Like, this is not a big league game or start, I should say. Now
This guy at the dish right here, I think, has maybe the highest ceiling of any player in baseball. And I think he's really good, but he does not have the best knowledge of the strike zone. I think I think he's a 5-tool player, but he just chases way too much.
Yeah, he's an explosive athlete. Although I think
great talent.
we were talking about Luis Robert.
Luis Robert, by the way. Yeah, sorry, I forgot.
think that, yeah. No, I don't know. Maybe I'm biased or whatever, but I think Tim Anderson's. I think Tim Anderson's a better athlete. Like I think Tim is more like fluid. It can Tim would
that's
play
fair.
center field. Luis can't go play shortstop.
That's true. Yes.
I would. And part of me is like, fuck, man, Tim Anderson at center. But then like, center field's one of those positions you have to play with like screws loose, all gas. Like
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know, Tim.
You got to be a bit reckless. Yeah.
Hey, biggest surprise that Australia thumped. They played, I want to say yesterday, right? Late last night.
Late last night.
9 or 10 o'clock game. And, Australia really, they pitched well out of the bullpen. It's a bullshit fucking Punch and Judy, Texas. Base hit. Italy still leads 6-3.
Yeah.
In Australia, they looked all fired up. So surprising that Korea would lose a game. I'm also surprised someone asked about the stadium atmospheres. I mean, the Chinese Taipei, this looks dead.
This one's dead. There's some of the other ones. The one in Tokyo, which is ironically where my brother might have been at that game actually. Was lit.
Let's fucking call his ass. What we got blood in the stands?
Not at this game. No, I was saying at Tokyo.
Send the boys a clip. Little hot dog review from the Castellani family.
Oh,
Do they sling hot dogs in Tokyo? Yeah, like how funny would that be if you were like, my brother's doing a little, help me out here, man. Tell me how the dog. Get a picture of it. Just get a picture of the dogs or something. But anyways, I don't even know if he was at the game. Your brother's in Japan is what I'm taking away from.
Yeah, he said he was trying to go to one of the WBC games. I'm not sure if he went to the first one.
Oh,
He's got to read.
I mean, these Italian mustaches are just,
No, I think it's a big reason why they won, to be honest.
man, Vinny's yapping.
Oh, we lose Carl. Yeah, I think we lost Carl. That's ball game. Italy with the upset win. Similar to 2017, I want to say, where they got a few upsets under their belt. At least one at the time. Had a lead, blew a lead, got it back. Somebody just asked what game are we looking forward to the most. I mean, yeah, USA Mexico stands out. I'm really excited to see USA's lineup, like, and how they go to work. I mean, we were talking about it a little bit earlier. I think there's 4 or 5 Hall of Famers in that lineup. Pitching still a little bit suspect. Congrats to Mike Piazza. Cuba looks crushed. Well, it looks like we lost Carl, but I'll probably bounce here in a second because I got to get a little bit more beauty rest and then call it. Because we got a Michigan game today, and I still got to hit the gym, so a lot going on. Should I go to U.S., Great Britain, or U.S., Canada? I'd say U.S., Canada.
Am I here?
Okay, yeah, you're good now. Yeah, we lost you for a second.
I saw you trying to. I appreciate you. I unmuted her. I had a duplicate stream running there. Good thing we finished the whole fucking game before. 6-3, Italy won. That's a big thing for their brand.
Yeah,
That's a
huge
big thing for Barstool baseball. Like,
yes.
I cannot stress this enough. I need Italy to advance, and I want people to wake up on how talented this kid. Every ball he hit tonight was impressive. Even the sky fly ball where he flipped his bat, looked in the dugout, and said "fuck," and he wants to cover this event for Barstool. So I can't encourage people enough. Even I don't give a shit if 10 people are watching. Go follow the kid. Go talk to him. Go send him a nice message. Say, hey,
root for Italy
today and all this stuff, because it helps the brand. So thanks for getting up early and doing this with me. We still have to put in a good full day of work here covering the game.
For sure. Yeah, no, we'll do another one of these. I'm gonna chill out for a little bit. Then I got Michigan basketball's at noon, so it never sleeps. But I'll see you around, man. Good job.
Good stuff. Talk soon, pal. Oh,
Yeah,
Wild
talk to you
Thing,
later.
blog coming on Wild Thing. Until then, we'll see you guys.
Sounds. Oh, I can't wait. Thank you.